this shit. No, do not put that on.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? My true seekers, how are you guys doing? The roof is on fire. Guys, look, I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to that super teaser, yes, indeed. I mean, it is all that and some. But the thing about it is, I don't know if it's better than mine, which I'm going to go ahead and play my intro, okay? So, guys, again, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and 9 buys. So, before I get to all the good stuff, let me make sure that I go ahead and put on my disclaimer. You know, we got to go ahead and do that, okay? Because, honey, we got a show today, okay? Again, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D. Yes, indeed. So right here, this disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, and criticism does not mean what? It does not mean bullying, okay? It does not mean harassing no one at all. News reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I get that out the way. Also, I see this scripture. I'm gonna go ahead and read this quote right here. What does it mean that God is not the author of confusion? Because we know that the Most High God, He is not the author of confusion. Not the author of confusion, but love, peace, and a sound mind, making sure that I get all this together. Again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and 9 buys. So all I'm doing is just set myself up, making sure that everything is okay. And look, I hate to just sit there and just keep patting myself on the back and say, you know, I told you so, because everything that Logical and we've been talking about, I mean, way before now, everybody catching on to it. We already talked about it. So all this right here is just coming to pass. So also make sure you go ahead and if you feel led, go ahead and cash out me Real Talk 985. Trust me, you planting in good grounds, okay? Because when I call it, trust me, you can go ahead and take it to the bank. Or better yet, go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. So guys, look, let me go ahead and play my little intro. Let me know what you think about it, you know, because like I said, you know, this right here at the end of the day, this right here, you know, they airing out their business. So if they airing out their business, then they're a free game. But I knew that all the dirt that they was throwing on Martel and Arion, which I think that they should apologize to Arion, because you guys know I've been calling it out from day one. I saw how it all played out way before now, okay? And I just hope that, you know, when it comes to Call is King, because Call is King, hey, you know, I think this right here, I think this is it. Now, I don't know if this season 7's season 8, because it looked like, you know, they're going back to the throwbacks. I don't know, but I know that it is going to be epic. Very epic. So let me go ahead and play my intro, and then I will be back. I'm going to make sure that I got mic check, and after that, we're going to continue with this live. So again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and 9 buys.
Need to do her harm.
Domestic violence is not the same as harassment of communication. That's a phone charge. Like, your children gonna have to see this stuff. The internet never goes away. Like, yo, right now,
No,
he is in
I'm tired of hearing you say that. Look, the truth. You guys would have been gone and asked for the more long time ago. Don't sit here and act like that's true.
Rest is for a text message I said never over a year ago. You know?
He literally took a video that he and I did and was going to have it released.
My message to her was,
I'm talking to, she satisfying me.
I'm tired of hearing you saying that.
she is hurt. She just made another music video about you. Another whole
She's
song.
not hurt.
She's made two
She's not hurt
songs.
making songs. I feel like she's capitalizing. Let's be real, Tasha.
Well, it's kind of like, you know, I
she-
can't. Obviously, I lost my husband. Obviously, in a sense, you won, per se.
No, I didn't win.
You did. If you want Martell back, well, I mean, literally both of y'all could have him back if you wanted to. I mean, he would be.
Okay, guys, I just had realized that I was on mute, but I know you guys saw my intro. I think my intro is better than Call is King, but I had 7 people in here and nobody say, "Oh, D, your mic is mute." That's just to show you that we got a bunch of haters, but it is all good. So let me go ahead and read my copyright disclaimer again, because I mean, guys, you know, you guys got to stop it, you know, but all this stuff that you seen right now, Logical and we already had called it out. We called this out from day one. We already saw all the stuff, you know, we saw it how it was going to play out. You know, we call it, you know, just like I said there and said, I hate to just keep tooting my horn, but the copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So I wanted to make sure I get that out the way. Also, I want to go ahead and do this quote right here where it says, what does it mean that God is not the author of confusion? One thing that we know when it comes to the Most High God, he is not the author of confusion, but of love, peace, and of a sound mind. And anytime when you sit there and you tie God's hands and put yourself in front of the wheel, trust me, that's danger zone. You're going to go ahead and hit a brick wall. So guys, I hope y'all can hear me real good, because I was on mute for at least about 10 minutes and nobody ever said anything that I was on mute, but it is all good, because we already know, you know, especially when it comes to this reality show, Love and Marriage in Huntsville, nobody, you know, they don't love the truth. You know, we wants to run with this bandwagon, but I think that, you know, we all, yes, we all, and I've been saying it from day one because I saw it. I saw how all of it was going to play out. We owe Arion, yes, we owe Arion an apology, and I'm going to make sure that I break it down. Don't get butt hurt. Don't get butt hurt, because I know the truth. The truth hurts. Just say ouch, okay? I see Sydney is in the house. She said, looks like Melody is being phased out. It's not that she being phased out. It's just like I said there and say, the truth is finally, slowly but surely, finding its way back home. And also she says she has a real storyline, since she has no real storyline since she can't use the cheating anymore. Absolutely. And you all know I've been saying from day one, you know, it was just like beating an old dead horse. We just didn't want to see this, but I saw straight through all this. I saw straight through all this. All this right here was banking off of her pain. She was going to keep beating this dead horse, wringing this old dish rag, because what it was doing is it was making a profit for her. She was using Martell. And like I said, all this right here, I'm going to say allege. I'm going to say it's for entertainment purpose only, because I don't know these people from a can of paint. Okay. But if you air it out, you are free game. And that's real talk. But I think when it comes to this season, I don't know really what season it is. I don't know if it's season 7 or season 8, but I know that it was said, you know, that they're going to roll back some of the throwbacks, you know, especially the ones that Destiny was on. But I think that they should roll it all the way back, go all the way back to season 1, because I don't know if it had a lot of people, you know, especially, you know, even producers, you know, working, you know, trying to elevate one person while tearing down everybody else. You know, it doesn't work like that. Sooner or later, you will be exposed. And like I was saying, way before Cat Williams, you can go ahead and check my community tab. When the Most High God give me a word, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring it forth. This is the year 2024 is the year of exposure. And I don't care if this right here is a reality show. Like I said, I tell you guys all the time on my platform that we can take the foolish things, which is these reality shows, and conform the wise. But I think right here, this season right here, this season is going to be epic. I think that it's time for Martell to just go and lay it all on the table, because I know it's going to hurt, but it's just like surgery. The truth is just like surgery. When you start opening up, it hurts, but sooner or later, once it heals, you're going to feel better, because we already know when it comes to these people, they are not trying to spare Martell. And I was asking, the Most High God, way before, now we seen other content creators, because I thought it was just mean logical and who else, Starbucks and Country Girl. I thought it was just us, just seeing straight through all this BS. But now other people, they are starting seeing the same thing, where they are talking about it. And the reason why they was able to continue doing what they was doing, because they was bullying and threatening people and harassing people and docking people. And some people, they don't want their personal business to be out. And that's how they was able to back in, other people that see the truth, backing them up in the corner. Look what they doing now, girl, misbehaving. Misbehaving is fun. She lives by her name. These people are very vicious, malicious people. And like I said, I already know what's behind all this. No way in the world that you going to fight so hard. Fight so hard for someone that you don't know, unless you're getting paid, or unless it's like what my girl called it, a Ponzi scheme, where these people, the more vicious hate that they pouring out and spewing out, then what they going to do? They're going to get clicks, they're going to get likes, and they're going to go ahead and get monetized. Okay. But like I said, I tell you guys all the time, what's the purpose? What's the purpose, of gaining the entire world and losing your soul? It's not worth it. And we already know when it comes to Melody, when it comes to the love of money, how she wanted to go ahead and set this man house on fire just because of money. I don't care how much money it is. Like I said, take it to court. Even though it is really nothing that they can do about it if you guys have joint accounts, banking accounts, but still of all. You rather sit there and light this man's house on fire just because of money? So what else you would do for money? What else? What else you would do for money? And like I sit there and say, guys, no one loved the truth, but just say ouch, okay? Just say ouch, because no one loves the truth. But we're going to go ahead and talk about this super teaser. I think it was it was epic. It was exposure. I think Call is King. I think that he really did a good job with that intro, which, I think that mine was better, because, I want them to lay it all on the table, because it's time for Martell. It's time for him to sit there and tell his story. Who could tell it better than the ones that, been through it? We already know that Melody, she been spinning this narrative for how long? How long Melody been spinning this narrative? And the only reason why she was able to last this long, because she had this cult-like behavior. These people, this melon nut cult that was backing her up. And anytime when platform, big major platforms, they would talk about it, they would threaten them. And so they backed off, because most people, when they come on because they want to get paid. I want to get paid too. I want clicks, I want likes, but one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm going to stand on my truth. My truth may not be your truth, but I'm going to stand on my truth. I'm going to call it like it is. And this right here, like I said, I believe that season 7 mean completion. 8 means new beginning. Maybe it might be a new beginning. But I think that, it's time for Mel to leave. Because like I said, if you are setting up your own network, Nubian network, some streaming thing that you are doing, I'm not going to sit there and try to build somebody else's house. If anything, I'm going to build my house up. So what you're trying to do, trying to sabotage, trying to keep this man for telling his truth, it takes two. It takes two to tear down a house. And how long I've been telling you guys that? And Logical and we was breaking this down, when Martell had showed some clips or episode that everybody went ahead and what they did. They brushed through it. When Martell would ask Melody, let's go to a barbecue, she said no. Told Martell to go and find whoever you want. I asked Logical, I said, then say, find out for me. Was the attorney, Dan Kramer, whatever his name is, was he their attorney when Martell had they had filmed that scene? But that was foul. And like I say, I'm gonna sell Legend and all this right here for entertainment purpose only, because I don't have a dog in this fight. But the thing about it is, we want to know. All that should be laid on the table. When Martell hired this attorney to handle his business affairs, was he sitting there messing with his wife at the time? When Martell said he was not even cheating at the time, Martell, he gave a timeline when he stepped out of his marriage. He stepped out of his marriage because his wife had gave him the go, told him to go and do whatever you want to do. So what that's telling you, held out from the man for a whole year. He was telling her, what his needs are. Like I said there and say, what you won't do, somebody else around the corner, they gonna do it. What's trash to you might be treasure to somebody else. You guys, Martell was a cheater. Yes, Martell was a cheater. Nobody is not giving Martell an excuse. But so was Melody. So was Melody. But the thing about it, you guys never wanted to hear Martell out because you guys wanted to ride on this trauma bond train. I was watching some of the comments where some lady sat there and said, yeah, I can relate to Melody. I've been through what she went through, so I'm going to always ride with Melody. Like I said there and say, ride for the truth. How long you going to sit there and ride with someone that's going to keep you depressed, keep you sitting there not forgiving? How can you sit there and say you love God? I don't give a care what this person done. We all should receive God's amazing grace. None of us are righteous. We all have fallen short. So who to say that this man cannot get back up? But like I said, when you throw dirt at someone else, or you see a speck in somebody else's eyes, you better make sure that you get that pole out of your eyes, because it never works. And we already know when it comes to these people, yes, it's like a cult behavior. We called that from day one. We never changed the way that we was talking because we saw straight through all this. Like I said, I'm a true prophetess, even though I'm putting my energy on this reality show. And the reason why, because this is where our people at. Our people rather be smack dab in the middle of these reality shows than go outside and touch grass. So I'm going to meet my people where they are. And that's real talk. But I truly believe that this season right here is going to be Destiny and it's going to be Melody. And I pray that they don't spare no one. Call it out, because they didn't spare you. They have a whole fan group that's supporting them. And I already told you about the fan group. I told you about the Melanuts. I say these people I saw in the spirit. And those that follow me, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I saw in the spirit that they will be exposed. I told them they better pump their brakes. I say because many lawsuits, I saw many lawsuits, and when this old Southern girl went on the bayou, when she said that and she called it out, you better take it to the bank. I saw they was gonna get sued, and many more going to get sued. Because, like I said there and say, they are taking this to what I call a detestable place. I see my girls in the house, in my opinion. How are you doing, in my opinion? Let me see if I could drop the mic to see if you want to come on. Let me go ahead and drop the mic to see if you are welcome to come on. Well, I always say drop the mic. I don't know why I always say that. Drop the link. So I dropped the link in case you want to come up, in my opinion. So, like I say, it is what it is, and nobody can get mad but the devil. But all Melody did, Melody, what she did was she played herself. And look how, when they did the intro, when Tisha and Nell Fletcher, was going back, she in the background dancing. Because why are you dancing? Knowing that most of all this stuff you put out for a reality show, sold your soul over a reality show, and think that Martell was going to allow his children to come on so you could sit there and bank off of them as well. But devil, you is a liar, and the truth is not in you, and that's real talk. How are you doing? In my opinion, how are you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Girl, I am doing great. Did you see the super teaser?
I saw the super teaser, but I know a lot of stuff that's happened behind the scenes. So,
Absolutely. You saw the one that I came up with?
what you came up with?
Girl, let me play it. Let me play it right quick. Here, I see Edna Crowder is in the house. She said, "Good evening. Glad I caught the live." Thank you very, very much, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, indeed. I got my girl in the house, in my opinion, logical. She's with her grandbaby, so she's most likely she might not come up, but tomorrow she got a show all for herself, which we're gonna go ahead and talk about the accomplishments of Call Us King, because they trying to demise that. They're trying to sit there and say they don't remember Call Us King from, outside of Love and Marriage in Huntsville, and the little shows that he got
Well, he
now.
started Housewives, so
Thank you. He helped build that. He helped build that. But let me show you my little intro here. Let me see. Tell me what you think of it, okay?
okay.
Need to do her harm.
Domestic violence is not the same as harassment of communication. That's a phone charge. Like, your children gonna have to see this stuff. The internet never goes away. Like, yo, right now,
No, thank
he
you.
is in
I'm
tension.
tired of hearing you say that. Look, the truth. You guys would have been gone and asked for the work a long time ago. But don't sit here and act like that's true.
Rest is that text message I sent never over years ago.
He literally took a video that he and I did and was gonna have it released.
My message to her was,
The other person I'm talking to, she.
I love it.
I'm tired of hearing you saying that.
Honestly, she is hurt. She just made another music video about you. Another whole
She's
song.
not hurt.
She's made two
She's not hurt
songs.
making songs. I feel like she's capitalizing. Let's be real, Tasha.
Well, it's kind of like,
You know,
I can't. Obviously, I lost my husband. Obviously, in a sense, you won, per se.
No, I didn't win.
You did. If you want Martell back, well, I mean, literally both of y'all could have him back if you wanted to. I mean, he would be.
Need to do her harm.
What you think about it?
Girl, now you know I love it. I was so keep jamming.
And like I said, I think that they owe Ariana an apology because Ariana already talked about it. Melody did all this because she wanted to capitalize, put her entire family on display for the entire world to pull it apart just because of almighty dollars. And we already know what she'll do for money. She'll set the entire house on fire, take her life out for money. We already saw that, That's
There's a
sad.
lot more she's willing to do for money. But
My
we'll talk about
God.
that privately.
My God. But what's your thoughts about it?
Here's the thing. I feel like when you put something out, you're gonna get that karma back. It may not
Absolutely.
be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it comes back. And she about to get her back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, one thing, you don't sit there and you fight evil with evil. And we're not here, we're not here to sit there and gloat. But we already know that all this stuff was going to come. And I hope, even though you still there, in my opinion, I think a mic had dropped.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. But like I said, and I lost my thought. But what goes around come around, and we already know all this stuff was going to come out. You can't keep sitting there digging ditches and not expect your own self to go ahead and fall in.
Exactly, but you can't also tell people to go after these people and then not say something.
Absolutely.
Then sit by idly and watch it happen and then just say, oh, did I do that?
Hmm. But you see, the thing about it, while the reason why I think that they was fighting so hard because it was like what butterflies say, it was like a Ponzi scheme. And anytime when people fighting so hard for something that someone that they don't know, and praising this woman, and not knowing you are getting played, because this woman most likely tell them, I need you guys to come on my Instagram at a certain time, and how shall we say, we're gonna wait until we get 100 people. And instead of she sitting there telling them something that is motivating, she's sitting there selling her products. So I don't think that anyone that so-called themselves a melanite will ever go into her IG or whatever her live is, or some type of event that she got, without sitting there swiping them credit cards. They going to swipe those credit cards, believe me. Okay.
But notice it's always a sale whenever something is happening. It's
Yep, that's
30%
it.
off.
Absolutely. And just like Lodger said, that 30% probably was the same regular price that she already had, just putting it 30%. And like I said, it is all alleged. But the thing about it, they've been spinning this narrative when it came to Martel and Arion, been crucifying these people, nailing them to the cross, and not giving these people no grace. And the reason why they was doing that, because they know long as they can continue using Martel as a sacrificial lamb, they was going to be able to bank off it. But now you have been exposed, devil. I see Edna says, why all the time they try to make Tisha look weak? The reason why they try to make Tisha, they'll make anybody look weak. Because what they are trying to do is they trying
They
to
wanted
continue
Tisha. They wanted Tisha to
elevate.
leave her man too.
Hold on a second. What they trying to do is m- elevate Melody while tearing down everybody else. And they wanted you, right, Tisha. You can go ahead and say it, Tisha, to go ahead and leave her man. You can go ahead, in my opinion.
They wanted Tisha to get. They wanted Tisha to get a divorce just like her.
Mhm.
Just because her marriage broke apart, they want
Your
everybody marriage
background.
to break apart.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Could you say it again? I couldn't hear you because it had some background interference.
Oh, I said just because her marriage, what didn't work out, she wanted everybody else's marriage not to work out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another thing, I hope stop. I want Martell to stay, not Martell. I want Marcel. I want Marcel to stay out of Melody's face, because first of all, you don't have to say not one word to Melody, especially without your wife. So I don't know if the executive producers are telling more so, I need you to go ahead and talk to Mel. You're not going to talk to Mel. You should be far away from Mel, especially how Mel was trying to interfere into your marriage. But more so, like I said during say, I think every time when I see him in Melody's face, I think that he's crossing the line. What are your thoughts about that, in my opinion?
I think Marceau is a troll, and
Mhm.
I think he likes to troll the people, and he knows that gets up under their skin, and so that's the reason why he do it.
Yeah, but I just hope he stop. It's just like last season, when he went to brunch with her and they talked, and also when they had met each other in front of Melody's business, you know, like I said, this woman did everything that she could to call you a cheater and to take you away from your family. But yet, every opportunity that you get, you want to sit there and be Captain Saberho and go into her face and try to, you know, make her feel good. It doesn't make sense, and I hope Tisha, she stand up and sit there and say, no, you're not going to ever go into Melody's face or even say and it's not that you being insecure, but we already know how Melody plays her hands.
I think those people that's champion for male is gonna be in for a rude awakening this season,
Hmm.
and I don't know if they ready yet.
Of course. Of course, I absolutely believe that, because like I said, their time is up. They did their 7 years. It was time, for this stuff to sit there and come to a halt because they did so much. I mean, these people sitting there and doxing people and how they doing misbehaving, talking about a son, and they even wanted to, as they so called roast Keisha children, and Tisha got some very beautiful children. So I don't know what they were talking about. And the thing about it is that these trolls would never ever come behind their computer. They won't even put their profile picture. They was using avatars. So I'm like Miss Wanda, no face, no case. That's how I see it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I think Miss Wanda is an amazing person.
Hmm.
Um, and I think Tisha just needs to stay the course and know that you know what God got for her is for her, and nobody can't take it. So as much as
Absolutely.
these people try to tear her down, as much as they try to tear her business down, she's still surviving and thriving.
Absolutely. But I do think that, Marcel should not be in our face, in Mel's face, because we already know with those snake behaviors, the way that they come about of it. But I just didn't like the part also, I'm glad they open up with Martell, talking about, he's being arrested and what he's arrested for, and that was harassing a communication because everybody, was spinning this false narrative saying that it was RP, knowing it was not RP, but they kept, running with that because, like I said, it makes Melody looks good. But I'm glad now that everything is out in the open. And I hope, when it comes to Martell, they didn't try to spare him because Melody, she had those receipts for almost 2 years, to say 14 months, right? So if she had almost 14 months and she held on it, all she was waiting for the right time, she was looking for a storyline. Melody does not have a storyline outside of Martell.
You know what? The sad part about all this is, I don't think I've never known a woman not to put their kids first.
Absolutely.
And I think it's sad that these kids, because they're at an age where they see things,
Hmm.
um, and Alabama is not huge, especially not Huntsville. And so I'm pretty sure there are people, kids, that are talking about it at their school. And I think it's sad that mom and dad can't get along for the sake of the children. And that's the sad part.
Hmm. And I don't really think that it's not about getting along. I think that Melody had an opportunity to make this as a storyline, and she used it until she couldn't use it anymore, because even when it came to Ariane, we didn't listen to what Ariane was saying. Ariane was saying that Martell was with her. Melody and Martell was not together. We thought that Martell had the child with Ariane during the when Melody and him was together, but Martell said they were separated, which they wasn't divorced, so it's still bad. But Melody, when she felt like she wanted to leave, as she always called it, get her peace, she would leave. So what man that is going to sit there and allow his wife to leave whenever she feel like it, and go and get a hotel, and you think that this man's supposed to be home and twiddle his thumb? So I just hope that Martell come out with everything. If you're gonna tell it all, lay it all out on the line, because only one that we saw and we got proof that was abusive, and that was Melody Holt. Now Melody Cherie.
I think I think there's gonna be a lot of sad people here on YouTube here pretty soon. I don't know if Martell is gonna tell his story, or if they gonna even let it go.
Hmm.
But I do know he has a story to tell, and it's YouTubers that's already breaking the story. So I don't want
Hmm.
to say it on your channel because I don't want you to be held liable. But
Hmm.
there are other YouTubers that are breaking it before it even come on. So hopefully they show it.
Hmm. Well, I have your email. I'm gonna go ahead and private. Let me private my email so you can fill me into some of that stuff, because I don't go on all these YouTubers and get all that information. I be led by the spirit, and most likely when I call it, you can go ahead and take it to the bank. But I hope that Martell go ahead and tell it all, even though it might hurt, especially when it comes to the rumors out there, when it comes to his last child that he had for Melody. I'm hearing right now, and I'm going to say allegedly, even though the content creator, she didn't say allegedly, but her husband, said, it's just rumors. But we already talked about it. We think that Martell should go ahead and get a DNA, but they said that he already did.
He did. He got one already, and that's why I said I don't know if they're gonna show it.
Well, I think they should, because I'm pretty sure Melody sat there
Well,
and
those
she
results
made
ain't gonna
sure.
be favorable to her fan base. So I don't know
Mhm.
how far Carlos want to take it, being that his
Well,
kids involved.
Well, the thing about it is they took it for when it came to Martell, had a, outside child. They talked about it for almost 6 seasons. So why, they can't talk about this right here? I think this right here should be out, because Melody spin this narrative, this story for a long, long time, that, it was Martell was the one that was the serial cheater. And now we finding out that she just as worse as we sat there and portrayed Ariane. That's why I say when it comes to Ariane, we should apologize to her, because she was trying to tell her, she's not like that. It was not like that. What I think is that when Melody was coming in and out of this home, and I'm gonna say allegedly, that Martell sat there and he made house with Ariane, and so in a minute when Melody she felt like she wanted to come back home, Martell sat there and he leave Ariane and go back home, to his wife, and that's right there was the mixed signals that he was given Ariane's. But as Ariane said, all the stuff that they had on this reality show, it all was fake, because I was watching some clips with her and Tasha K. Martell was with Ariane. They was filming this fake scene, but he was with Ariane. So that's why I don't understand if Melody and Martell was separated, you know, how did this child come in it? And that's very questionable. Let me know what your thoughts about it.
I think it's tricky when y'all both are leaving the marriage and having outside relations. But I also think that it's been covered up for a long time, at the head of making one person feel comfortable and not necessarily the other person. And so I think there is
You
time.
you have a loud beat. What you in the car or something like that?
Oh yeah, I'm in my car.
Yeah, I hear a loud beat. I have these earphones on, these earbuds on. Yeah. Continue. Go ahead.
Oh no, what I was saying is I just hope that they do finally show the other side since they know contractually eligible to hold her up on the
Hmm.
bed. Now that
Yes.
the contract has ran out, I hope
Hmm.
that they actually hold her accountable as well.
Yes. Yes. Well, I just hope that, Martell, he been through so much. And to me, I think that Melody, she went ahead and she emasculated him, just for a storyline. And it's not going to work like that. I mean, she been chopping this man down, I mean, since day one, the first time when they came on episode one, it is supposed to be about black entrepreneurs, but she made it about herself, and she been spinning this narrative until she can't spin it no more. And that's why I say, now she's looking like a clown, because now all your dirt is about to come up. That's how I see it.
Well, it's sad because they were in a separation when this show first started. And
Hmm.
so they got back together to do this show. And I think that's a lot of the problems with this show is that nobody ever put in the backstory of what was
Hmm.
going on in the relationship. And so they were on the verge of divorce then. And because this show came up and she wanted to do it, he agreed. And I
Hmm.
think that may have been the worst decision of his life
But they
because
wasn't together. They wasn't together, right? When they
they wasn't
decide.
together, but they got back together to do this
Okay.
show because she always wanted to do it. So they had been pitching this show for 3 years before it got picked up.
Okay.
When they was first pitching it, they were together. But
Okay.
about 6 months before they got the show, they separated. And when she got the call to that got the okay for this show, they got back together for this show.
Hmm.
And so I think that too in itself is problematic. You see what I'm saying? Because you're getting back
Yes.
together for a show. And it's like, if you're not trying in the marriage, of course the marriage is going to fail. If
Hmm.
you're not confident in making it work, of course it's going to fail. Faith without
Yes.
work is dead.
Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely.
it's like, to me, to hear her say, God told you to go. Well, if he been cheating on you for 5 years, 6 years, as you say,
Hmm.
did he tell you to go a long time ago?
Absolutely. She keeps, but all that stuff, like I say, they use God name, and all this right here, was just for monetary gain. And now, you can't keep using the Most High God. You can't keep using His name and playing with it, knowing that you're not sincere of what you're doing. You're only doing it because you're trying to sit there and bank while putting your foot on somebody else's neck. But I just hope that Martell will be able to tell his reality, tell your truth, tell it all, lay it all on the table, because now the world is listening. You got people that's, ready to seek truth, because we already know when it comes to uh Mel- Melody and her millimeters, these people are very vicious people, doxing and harassing and going after the CEO of the company. I mean, going over his head, going to H&R. I mean, so much stuff is going on. So it's time for them to put a stop when it comes to this vicious cult.
I think it's hard when somebody has silenced you for so long. I think
Hmm.
Martell has went through a lot of different challenges that he's broken. He's a shell of himself, and I think he's trying to get it to back to him, and he's fighting, but it's hard
Hmm.
because if you take into consideration that every Every job he gets, if he posts it, they're calling to get him kicked off.
Hmm.
It's hard. And it's like, if you really want, if you rooting for Mel the way y'all say y'all are, then you will want this man to have a job, period. Because if he doesn't, guess what? She's gonna be paying child support because they
Absolutely,
do
absolutely,
have joint custody of these kids. So if he doesn't have enough income to take care of them kids, guess what? The judge is gonna order child support to be issued to him. Now y'all say
absolutely.
y'all trying to protect her. So if you're trying to protect her, let this man work.
Absolutely, absolutely. We talked about that. Elijah and I, we talked about that. That if he does not, have any work, then she's going to have to foot the bill, especially accommodate the way that these children are used to living. So if those kids are used to a certain way of living when they are in her home, then she's going to have to provide that in Martell home as well. So I just don't understand. Everybody's saying she's smart. She might be smart, but book smart. But when it comes to stuff like this, street smart, she's not smart at all. And I think that all this, what she's doing, is she's setting herself up, and it's going to backfire.
I think when you feel by revenge and not by love, this is what happens.
Hmm. Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
I hope and I pray that she finds the peace
Hmm.
that surpasses all of this and that she can finally get herself to a place where she's comfortable being okay with being
Absolutely,
comfortable.
absolutely, absolutely. So, have you made it in your home now, or are you still on the road?
Oh, I dropping something off from my daddy house. Yeah, I made it to my daddy house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because there's a lot of interference, and we want to make sure we give a good live because I have those earbuds on. So it's just a lot, is a lot to all this right here. But you know, we want to make sure that, we stand on our truth. I'm not here because, like I said, I don't know these people from a can of paint. We're gonna just call it as it is. But I think that the reason why she was able to run with this narrative so long, because she wanted to paint the picture as Martell was slow, that, he couldn't articulate himself. But the thing about it is that when he says something, his voice is not as loud as hers, and she was overpowering him, and that's why she was able to run with this narrative for so long. So that's what I think about it, in my opinion. What you think about it? So I think, in my opinion, must have her mic. She must have a mic off. So, in my opinion, are you there? Or when you get your mic together, or
Yeah, I'm here.
do you have your mic together now?
Yeah, I do. Can you hear
All
me
right,
better?
I can hear you better now because it was a lot of interference in the mic.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, but do you think that do you
Do I think what?
do you think that the reason why Martell couldn't get his words out, or tell his truth, because Melody, she felt that she was smarter than him, and she overpowered him, as if she was better, and it made Martell look like he couldn't articulate himself.
I think Martell was in a place of
Hey,
I don't want to
Tanya.
go. I don't want to go that low.
Hmm.
So he held back a lot. And I think as a result, people start believing that, well, this must be true because he's not denying it. And then when he finally did try to speak up, I think he felt like, well, nobody's believing me anyway. They dragging me regardless. And
Hmm.
then I think he got vicious. And I think the more he got vicious, the more they made him the bad guy. And he was like, I'm
Hmm.
not gonna win no matter what.
Hmm. And that's where he went wrong at, because just like Tasha K had told him, people want to hear your story. People don't know about you. They don't know no more than what they painting this bad picture about you as a villain. So my I just hope, this right here, because this season is it. Either you're gonna hit it or you're gonna miss it. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do another season after this, but they can, if they go ahead and get it right. I truly believe that Martell now, all eyes are on him, lay it all on the table, even when it comes to the last child, make sure, you get your piece when it comes to this, even though it's going to always be his child, but still of all, is letting the world know now that, their life is on this reality show that, you guys been condemning me and crucifying me, but all the while her hands was just as dirty as mine was.
I think when you're on a production team and you try to say it, and then they say, no, let's do it this way, which happens a lot. Them trying to tell people how to say this truth, and when you're trying to say it the way they want you to see it, and it doesn't come off genuine, I think it makes people think you're lying. And in a
Okay.
sense, you are lying because, hey, I got to follow what production say. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so when you have productions pulling screens and telling you, hey, do this, we talk to the other person, they okay. Y'all can have this scene together, and then you do everything they ask you, and then that person acts like they have no idea what you're talking about. It makes it look suspicious. And so for somebody that's already getting tons of DMs. Um, a person that every time they get a job, they're getting tons of comments about how evil they are, and especially the ones where they tell him to go and alive himself.
Mhm.
I think that's hard for any person, especially somebody who's only trying to do what they're told to do.
Yeah, that's very hard. And then the way that they had Martell in a straitjacket and saying that, he was in a mental institution. And I mean, they painted this guy as a monster. And now I'm so glad that light is being shined on him, and now he get to tell his truth. But what are your thoughts about when it comes to Destiny? I think Destiny, she's sitting on red as well. I think that Destiny, she's going to go ahead and confront. Is that Destiny's husband that married a producer, or that's her
That's her
ex-boyfriend?
boyfriend Moses that she got with
Hmm.
after her husband. I feel sorry for Destiny. I feel sorry
Hmm.
that the first time she was on this show, she had a gag order from her husband, so she couldn't tell her truth. And
Uh-huh.
then this time she's coming on the show, and you bringing in a man who said this woman was my producer, was his cousin, and all along they had been sleeping together.
Absolutely.
I think that's messy,
And the thing
and
about it, Melody, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
I think it's messy that production thought this was a good idea to bring them on the show when they have been shopping around from different networks to get a show.
I kind of see why they put it together, even though it's messy, but it's also going to put some of the pieces together when it comes to Martell and all the stuff that is going on with him. Because first of all, Destiny, she wanted to bring her ex-boyfriend on the show, and she confide in this producer. I'm pretty sure, she told the producer, a lot of stories, when it comes to her relationship with her ex. And I'm sure that all this stuff right here is going to get out. So I'm kind of glad that, all this stuff, just let it all hang out. If that's the way to get Destiny on the show and start telling the truth, because they already said that, she was not transparent, she never really come out, and this time, she can confront. But what really had baffled me is when Melody, she thought that it was cool for the producer, to be with Destiny's ex. So that's just to show you, okay, you think it's cool. Wait until your your 2-bit change is going to come through that door. I see 97.7 WKRA says Ariane had made Martell look way more worse than Mel ever could. Well, it's easy for us to go ahead and say that 92.7 because we only know all the stuff that they put out about Martell and Ariane, but wait until they start peeling the layers when it comes to Melody. Like I said, I think that they was both running butt race together. Like I said, who going to stay in a relationship knowing that your man was cheating unless you was out there doing something yourself? Melody hands is not clean as well, and just like they went around and said Ariane said there and she had abortions, then Melody, she did the same thing. So like I said, these people, they was living a very toxic life. Melody, when she felt like she wanted to leave, she went ahead and left. Now that's why her last baby is, they question it now. And like I said, you air it out, you are free game. So just go ahead and chime in my opinion. What your thoughts about this? Ariane had made Martell look way more worse than Mel ever could.
I think Arion did a lot because she was silenced. It was okay for
Mhm.
them to tell her story without actually
Yes,
asking her story. And I think as a way to try to get it out, she kept trying to tell it, and people was keep trying to silence her. And so the best way she knew how was to go good or low. And
yes,
again, it may not be the way you like it or you may want to see it, but if somebody was trying to tell your story and all you were trying to do was clear up the lies that was told in your story, you would want to be given that time to be able to say, hey, this is what happened. And I think because everybody kept trying to silence her, she was like, well, hey, you going to go good or low? I can go good or low too. No, it's not right, but two things can happen at the same time, and we can call it out.
absolutely. And for when she said that, Ariane had made Martell look way more worse than Mel. Like I said, we looking from the outside in. We don't know about all the stuff that happened in Huntsville because they're not going to sit on this platform. Especially when it comes to these melanuts, they're not going to sit there and tell you what the streets are saying. But now people are coming out. People are in private groups and they saying a lot of stuff that was going on. It makes Martell, it makes him look like a saint, because a lot of stuff, we wasn't privy to. But now I truly believe it's time for us to sit there and know the truth and nothing but the truth.
I let me tell you, I hope this season the truth actually does come out because I have been saying for a while that people are in Alabama business without knowing how it actually is in Alabama. And
Hmm.
so I think it's time for them to stop capping, stop telling the lies, and actually tell the truth and shame the
Hmm.
devil. Because
Hmm.
I think if they told the truth would be so much more impactful and people could relate to the truth rather than the lie.
Absolutely. But you see, if they tell the truth, then most likely they're not going to be able to elevate Melody, and that's what they're trying to do. See, they don't want to smear her, because they tried to make her as a brand. So if you start sitting there and start telling her dirt, all the stuff that she did, then what you think going to happen to her. But like I said, she had 7 seasons, she ran this, and they elevated her. Now, like I said, you have to be careful. You have to be real careful who holding up your ladder, because the same ones that's watching your butt go up there is the same ones that's going to shake your butt right off. I see 97.7 says no. I'm talking about the things Ariane has said out of her mouth on her live and interview with Tasha K. Well, just like what In My Opinion said, the reason why she was saying all this and she went down as, if you want to call it, the gutter, because she was not giving a platform to tell her story. So if someone is constantly telling your story, I promise you 97.7, you would be upset as well. You wants to tell your truth. Oh no, this is not true. They are lying on me. They're lying on me. But she didn't have that opportunity because nobody gave her that opportunity to tell her side. And that's why I sit there and say, if they can let Destiny's X come on with the producer, which that was low because I don't think that the producer should be fraternized with the employees or something like that. That would mess up an entirely show. So if they can let that mess on, then like I said, go ahead and let Ariane on. She deserved to come on. And the reason why is because this entire show, all the way from season 1 up until now, was centered around Ariane Curry. So what are your thoughts about it, in my opinion? You still there? So her mic went ahead and dropped. In my opinion, her mic dropped. But like I said, the truth is the truth, and it's time for it's time for the truth to come out, because we've been spinning this narrative, and we already saw when it comes to these millimeters. It's like a cult behavior, and they'll sit there and say, well, how is a cult? We saw all the stuff that Melody went through because Melody put her story, her narrative out. Martell didn't want it to damage her, because I'm pretty sure all the clips that Martell has showed Tasha K, it would have put Melody not in jail, but it would have went ahead and put Melody in prison. All the stuff that we saw, even when she was in the Fletcher's home, how she threw glass at this man's head. Anytime when it's something that she don't like, then she want to sit there and commit violence. But you guys, you want to overlook that. And the thing about it, you guys saying, oh, that's good for him. And the only reason why you can say that, because you guys allowed Melody to go ahead and spin that narrative. And that's why I sat there and said, when it comes to this season right here, as they live by the title, they're going to tell it all, then they need to go ahead and tell it all. And Martell need to not hold nothing back, because we already know when it came to these people is not going to spare Martell. And I've been saying this from day one. I never changed my story because I saw straight through all this. If you got someone just sitting there and constantly sitting there, want to have a pity party, don't want to see no growth, then this person right there, they love wallowing in their mess. And what they did was, whether you guys want to hear it or not, they used Martell as a sacrificial lamb. That's exactly what they did. But also, I want to know, I saw when Martell on the super teaser, he was telling, not Martell, Marcel, he was telling Martell that, he been through some of the stuff that he's going through. And I want to know what Marcel, went through. So it's time for Marcel, like I said, what are you talking about when you saying that you can relate to some of the stuff that Martell went through? And I don't know if he's just doing that for a storyline. I don't know, but all I'm just saying, when it comes to all this stuff, it's time for them to sit there and put it to end. Go ahead and just lay it all out the table. So lay it on the table, even if it gonna hurt, even if you going to cry. But like I said, they are the ones that had chose to put their life on display for the entire world to go ahead and pick it apart. What did they thought? That's what I want to know. What did they thought? What the outcome? How they thought that this was going to play out? Nothing good was going to come out of this. Nothing good. Especially when we know now how toxic their relationship is. And I know you guys don't want to hear this part, but like I said, Melody, she's the root of all this. Melody, yes, she's the head of all this, because Melody know that her life was dysfunction. Her marriage was already toxic, but she chose to go ahead and put her life on display for the world to pick it apart, thinking that everybody was going to jump on this trauma bonding bandwagon. And stay asleep while she's sitting there laughing all the way to the bank, banking off of somebody's pain. And that's why I sat there and say from day one, Martell was a sacrificial lamb. Martell was a sacrificial lamb. Because long as they can ride on that trauma bond train, they was all the way to the bank. And Arion said it. Arion told it to Tasha K. Arion sat there and said that this girl is banking off of this. This girl is making money off of this. She know that she didn't want it Martell. And I think she didn't want it Martell. I don't even think now, logical, she said, she think that, she wanted Martell. I don't think she wanted Martell. I think that what she was doing is she was clout chasing. She was there to make him look so bad because she know that would have been good show. And she did good. She ran with it for how long? 7 years. She ran with it for 7 years. So do she think that she's going to run into the 8th year? No, the buck stopped there. I see Etna say, yes, she's the root of all evil. Yes, she is. And she's going to be exposed. And I just hope, that call is king. Don't hold Martell back. Let Martell tell his story. Because just like Tisha said, Melody, she has a very dark soul. And the thing about it, she wants to sit there and she want to put God in it. Every time when she do something, she wants to put God in. And that's right there. They fake. Because many going to say, Lord, Lord. They going to use that name. But their actions does not line up with their mouth. Cheek and tongue would say anything. The mouth would say anything. But actions speak. How the heck you going to sit there and you're going to say, God said this, and you want to minister and call a 24-hour prayer line, but yet you don't want to forgive? You don't want to forgive no one? You want to keep beating this dead horse? Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. And like I said in here, it's critical thinking. I'm not going to tell you something that, you think that, it should be this, should be that. All their hands are dirty. I even think that when it came to the Scotts, they were sacrificial lambs. Melody even did Kiki. She was a sacrificial lamb. She used any and everybody to make herself look good and run this story. Like she got these t-shirts, selling these t-shirts, millimeters, everybody against the millimeters. That's showing you right now she's not ready to dismantle that. But I'm pretty sure it's going to backfire on you because these people is going to get sued. Like I say, do you actually think that these people that's being doxxed and putting their children and getting all their information, putting their lives, out there and stalking their business and stalking their homes, do you actually think that something good is going to come out? That nothing good is going to come out. That I promise you. But she's not dismantling it when it was told to her, because God is going to send his messenger. Pump your brakes. Separate yourself from this. And by she keep egging it on, not letting go, so then God gonna step in. And when God step in, then everything that you built, it's going to start crumbling down. And as you can see, I don't see why these people don't see it. You guys keep sitting there saying that Melody got this, Melody got that. Ain't nobody hate no Melody. I want to see all of them prosper. But like I said, the only ones that I know is really doing good, and that's the Scotts. And they even saying now, I was reading some bloggers that Martell, he done built him a house. He done moved into a new house. Where Melody at? Melody renting a home from the Fletchers, running her business out of the Fletchers' home. So who gonna be jealous with that? Like I said, everything that Melody putting her hands on, somebody else being blessed with it. Her husband, and I hate to say it, guys, this real talk, down to her children. And now it looked like is going to be the show that she built, she helped build. Somebody else going to sit there and they're going to run with it. Because like I said, Arion is full and she ready to sit there and she let it out. She ready to let it out. And you guys say, oh, I don't want to watch that. Yes, you're going to be. Like I say, when it comes to your enemies are your biggest advertisers. They're going to beat you there watching it. Because like I said, they are the ones that's pushing you into your destination. Your enemies are the ones. They are your motivators. That's why I say when it comes to your enemies, you need your enemies in your corners. But this right here, like I said, I've been talking like this from day one because I saw straight through all this. And yes, I blame Call is King. But like I said, I also forgive you if you make it right. And I believe that this season he's going to make it right, where this show is going to show light on Martell and Destiny, because it's time for them to tell their story. Because we already know when it came to Call is King, when Call is King went down to Huntsville and how he sat there and put Melody on that pedestal, knowing her head was already big, crowning her and all this other stuff. Why would he do that? If he was going to travel down there to Huntsville, then this is an ensemble group. This is not just the Melody group. And that's why it went ahead and it backfired. It backfired. So we're going to see, we're going to see how it's all going to play out. Because when I call it out, guys, you could take it to the bank. And now we got people, they saying the same things that we've been saying. And the reason why they catching on to it, because some of these people, they not drinking the Kool-Aid. They not sitting there, if Melody say something, oh, it's Bible. They not worshiping Melody. These people are waking up. And they say, ain't no way in the world, 7 years, a woman that's very beautiful, she's still sitting there drowning in her sorrows, still sitting there beating this dead horse. Why, she don't show her light? Why she don't move on? We see that she's traveling and going different places, but she never show who she's dating, showing that she move on. She even say that. Did Melody say that? What did Melody say? She sat there and say, it's time for her to move. When guys say go, it's time to go. But she's still staying stuck. The reason why? Because it allowed her to laugh all the way to the bank. But you're not going to laugh by sacrificing and emasculating this black man. Not another season. Not another season. Nobody is not going to allow you to do it, because you had 7 years to get it right. The wallet in your mess. Now you taking it on your hands. So it's time for either you let go, let God, or move on. It's time for her to move on. She says she's not happy. Melody, she brought everybody that she can to sit there and try to destroy Tisha's and Marcel's marriage. Even brought the cousin. So what, like I say, they start pulling out their ace in the pocket and start bringing in other people that you don't want. Because like I said, when it comes to the tongue, there's power in the tongue. Words are like seeds. When you spit those seeds out, it's going to take root. And I believe this season right here is what I call harvest time. When she said, when they go low, she take it to hell. So if you want to go hell, you want to play on the devil's playground, just be ready. Who's there waiting for you? You might not be ready. So that's why I said you got to be careful of what you put out there in the atmosphere, because it's going to come back. Because we already know, I do not think that Martell deserved what he was getting over cheating. Like I said, Martell is not the first and he's not the last. And we looking from the outside in. But now all her stuff is falling out the closet. But could you handle it? Like I said, today is Martell, but tomorrow it could be you. So when it's your turn, can you handle it? We're going to see if she's going to be able to handle it. Because what measure fate that you put out is going to come back. It's going to come back as 7 times worse than what you went ahead and you put out. Because what you did was you played with God. You didn't let go and let God. You became God. You built yourself. You exalt yourself. Had people worshiping you. Talking about, oh, Mel, I get motivated. She inspired me. How can someone inspire and motivate you when all you guys talking about what your ex done to you? Make it make sense. Or going around doxing and bullying and stalking. How can you get motivated by that? You don't see Tisha's fans. You don't see that they going around doxing people and stalking and threatening people, going to court. Those are all millimeters. And I promise you, it's going to end up backfiring because half of these YouTubers, I don't think that they got that type of money in their pocket, which, like I said, I don't know what they banking on, but I know one of them that do a lot living with her parents. How the hell you going to talk about Arion and sitting there and constantly putting her down and talking bad about her and making all these videos after videos about her, and you sitting there don't even have a key to turn into your own house? Make it make sense. Like I say, these people are trolls. They are low-lifed people. They are not about that life. But what the Most High God is doing, he's flushing them out. And I'm pretty sure if they go to court, you're going to see those trolls, those monsters. You're going to see those monsters behind those computers that was spewing all that hate. And no way in the world I would do that. How the hell I'm going to hide behind the computer and spew all that hate? You don't even see an avatar. At least that's all you see is an avatar, but you don't see like a profile picture. At least put a profile picture. You don't see none of that. But what they are doing, they are spewing all that hate because these people are miserable, broke, and living off of this woman, thinking that, oh, if you said that go against Melody, then you're going to mess us up. Because like I said, just like Butterfly said, nothing but a Ponzi scheme. These people are getting paid. So anytime when you acting so vicious and violence and stalking and harassing, because you lining up your pockets, you might not be getting, money directly from the ones that sitting there you riding on that train with, but you're getting clicks and likes, and that little change. In the world, man, YouTube is not paying them that much money. I don't give a care if you see them got 20, 30 subscribers. Those people is not getting that paid that much money to sit there and go to court and end up paying 7 times as much money that they banked off of this YouTube channel. Look like people should learn, especially with all the stuff that Tasha K went through. And I don't think that they got that Tasha K kind of money. I promise you, the same ones that's telling you guys and cheering you on and allowing you to sit there and spew all this hate. When the chips start falling, they gonna scatter just like roaches. I promise you guys, they gonna scatter just like roaches. But we're gonna see exactly what's going on, because I think that when it comes to this season right here, I don't know what season it is, because I know they're doing some throwbacks. I don't know if they're going way back to season 5 when Destiny, because Destiny said she knows where the bodies are. So who to say that Melody had talked to Destiny, or they went out together and they hung out and they know each other business? Who to say that that friend was Destiny that came back and told Martell, you need to go ahead and take a DNA? Who to say? And Destiny is well within her rights if she do, because what Melody did to Destiny. What did Melody do to Destiny? Melody sat there and sabotaged her business by going in there, spewing all this hate and confusion when she was had a grand opening. And she sat there was trying to shame her because of $6,000 that Destiny did not ask for. I see, in my opinion, is back on. Let me go ahead and let her back on. Hey, girl, you got it together?
Yeah, I got it together, honey.
Okay, okay, good, good. We ain't got that pause, that delay in it, huh?
No, we all good. I'm back at the
Oh,
house. I had to come home. I was like, yeah, look,
okay. Yeah, yeah, because we want to make sure we give a good show. You see what I'm saying?
got to.
Even if we got two or three, that's all right. You understand? But I have these earbuds and any little noise or something like that, you can
Well, they
hear
said
it.
where two or more is gathered.
That's it. That's it. And that's all I really needed because let me tell you something, we was very powerful. Now we got people right now, they seen exactly what we've been talking about all along. We already knew what was behind all this. So now other people, they seen that. Want me to tell you something? Uh-uh. We tired beating this man down. And this woman sitting there, she's laughing all the way to the bank. This ain't nothing but a dag on vicious cult. So what your thoughts about all that?
Listen here. Whether she put the battery in their back or not, she see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't lift a hand to stop it. But
Absolutely.
when they started trolling that white man, she hurried up and came on live and said, "Don't y'all do that."
What
And
white man?
some rich white man that they was trolling, um, and she got on her live.
Oh,
He
yeah, I remember
contacted
that.
her, and it stopped. So you know the power of your voice, and she could have stopped this a long time ago for everybody, and I do mean everybody. But instead, she lets it keep going. So you enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But I want to know, like I said, why she never show who she's with, because I see this season right here, Martell, you know, he's talking about, brought some other woman to the house, which I think that's the new couples that's they going to film with. I guess that's just to, open up some of the ice. Now I did hear where Tasha K had said that Ariane had the cameras on her when they was going to court. So I want to go ahead, I don't want to see Martell, as he say, all this right here is acting. I'm ready for him to tell his true authentic self. I'm ready for him to showcase himself with, you know, Ariane and the son, since they made the entire storyline about them.
Well, I don't think you're gonna see high notes of Arion.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. Because it has been put out that if she films or if Miss Wanda films, a certain somebody is out.
Well, Melody already got her own stuff going on Nubia
She doesn't
Network or
care.
whatever
She
that.
she still wants this check too. Let me tell you something. She wants this check bad.
Hmm.
So don't believe the hype of she doing good and she this and she that. She needs this check just as much.
So, do you actually think that not Martell, that Carlos King going to keep his ratings down just to accommodate one person? I just don't think so. I really don't
Um,
think so because if Ariane cannot come on, then just like Martell say, just go ahead and fire me.
Here's the thing. That's cute too that Martell say that, but I don't think he's in that position to turn down the shit neither. He might, but I don't
Hmm.
think he's in that position because so much of his business has been wrecked as a um part of this show. I think he desperately needs this check as well.
Hmm. Well, he might need the check, but one thing that I know when it comes to Martell, he's not going to sell his soul behind it. And if he was doing good and build a $1 million company, without the show before, I think that he'll walk away and continue. It's like people think that he cannot make it, if he leave this show, but he made it before. This man made his income was like $20 million just coming, with the lawnmower service, and him and Arion, not Arion, him and Melody, the buildings and all this other stuff that they was doing. So I think that if they did it before, they can continue. And if I cannot tell my story, my reality, then I would just go ahead and walk away. And he even said
The,
that.
I think the downfall to this show is the cult like following that comes along with this show.
Hmm.
And so
Absolutely.
when I say that, um, I don't, I've not heard not one person on this show that have, except for Mel, that has not seen a decrease in business. That their business has suffered in some kind of way because of these people, and it's sad because you have people that are actually going to these businesses. They're calling the Better Business Bureau about these people.
That's sad.
And I think that when we at a point when we take a edited reality show and we try to hold it as Bible, and we're gonna
Hmm.
do so much to actually stop money from coming into somebody's pocket. And I told you on the other show, in Alabama, we ain't too far from being back in those racist times. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Hmm.
So I think for it to be in Alabama where they already don't want us to be successful, they'll keep letting it happen because they don't want us to survive anyway. And so even Stormy, her business, they went at her business, even offered to torch it.
That was wrong.
Yeah, and so I think for that purpose, even if he got off the show, they probably still troll him because of
Hmm.
his presence on this show.
Hmm.
So I don't think it's no running away from these people. I think the only thing that Carlos can do to salvage it, because he does have people that are ready to quit because of all this. And I don't just mean Martell. I mean other
Hmm.
cast members already quit. So
Hmm.
I think if he wants to salvage this show, he's gotta actually tell the truth and shame the devil.
Absolutely. And also, I think that I don't think because I know Carlos King is very shady. And just like they went ahead and they iced Nene Leaks out and Mariah Hugh, I think that they're going to do the same thing when it comes to Melody Holt, or Melody Cherie. And every time, like I said, honey, I can just pat myself on the back, and I'm not gloating. But when I call it, trust me, you could take it all the way to the bank. I think that this season, Melody will be gone. I think that they're going to realize that they cannot work with her anymore, and she's going to have to go over to what she's working with, because it's time for Martell to tell his truth. And if Martell cannot tell his truth, then Martell is going to leave. And I truly believe, if Martell leave and they allow Melody to stay, then the Scott's going to leave as well, because you can see Kimmy is not for it at all. Because I don't know if Kimmy, who she's talking about, but if I have to sit there and guess, I think that Kimmy was talking about Melody, because when she's saying about accountability, because Melody does not take accountability for nothing, even Marcel. I remember once reunion, Marcel was telling Melody, do you ever take accountability of anything that you do? So if they're allowed Carlos King and Own Network or whoever is behind this to continue just letting this girl just drain the energy out of everybody, and having these people, if anybody needs security, because I was coming on at 5 o'clock, I was talking about how they were saying that Melody, she's getting round the clock security. Round the clock security for what? If anything, is because you are scared of the monsters that you have created. If anybody need round the clock security, it should be teaching them, because they sat there and really dragged the Scots. They, even with their business, with their events, calling people and asking where the locations at. The Scots went through pure hell, not to mention all the stuff that Stormy went through, how they start her business and going on, her business, and giving her bad reports. These people, these millimeters have done a lot.
They have, and still is. They haven't stopped. I think the problem is she was in a contract for a while, and the contract just expired.
Who
So, like
who was in the contract?
Mel.
Oh, so her contract has
So
expired.
her contract just expired, and they didn't necessarily renew it.
Oh, they haven't. So this is all alleged because I didn't see this information nowhere.
Yeah. So her contract expired. So this season should be the season that, if they are gonna actually tell the truth, if they
Oh,
are
okay.
gonna bring
So
out,
only this is interesting right here. Make sure
yeah,
you
her contract. Okay, so her contract.
email that to me here. Email me some of that information right there because I don't go and search for these people's stuff.
Well, I don't go search for it neither, but you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like when they put out stuff, I want to fight fire with fire, and I fight
Mhm.
it with real documents.
Mhm. So tell me about the contract. Her contract, just her contract or everybody contract ends?
Well, so the contract was actually made with Mill and Martell because they was the one to shop the show around.
Okay.
So the contract was good for 6 years.
Mhm.
The contract stated that they would have producers cred, that they would have editing creds, and also have thoughts on who could come on and who could not come on.
Okay.
So it was kind of pretty much of a, you know, they all had to agree. Um, and that contract just, expired, and they didn't renew it. So
Mhm.
I'm not for sure why they didn't renew it. It's no documents on why it
So
didn't.
when you say they didn't renew it, you talking about Martell and Melody, or the ones
On
that
didn't
signed it?
renew it.
Okay, okay, okay.
So
Wow,
on didn't renew the contract. And
that's very
like I said,
interesting.
I don't know why they didn't renew it. I don't know if they was trying to phase the show out, or
Hmm.
they were just trying to see if they could, actually put an end into this saga. I don't know what it is. But like I said, this would be the season that, if we were gonna see any of that stuff happen, this should be the season.
Hmm.
But I do know that besides Martell, there are two cast members that are ready to quit.
Hmm. So if you have to allegedly say the two cast members, who would you think? Who would you say it is? Both of the Scots?
Mm-mm.
Not the Scots.
One of the Scots,
Which ones?
Letitia
Letitia and Marcel. Hmm.
and Stormy.
Okay, okay. Well, I really didn't think that Stormy really had a foot in the door. I was shocked to see that they allowing Stormy to come back. But I know when it came to the Big Lou, was Tiffany and Big Lou, they had enough, because how the millimeters was sitting there bullying them, and I'm surprised that is not Maurice and Kimmy, because look how the bloggers was mailing at Kimmy's cancer, calling Maurice a cancer hunter, or whatever they be calling. But I mean, I don't know how these people could sleep at night. When we're like asleep at night to spew that much hate. But the thing again, if you hiding behind the computer, and all you showing is just an avatar, they not even showing at least a profile picture. So it's just to show you that these people, they are bullies.
I think when you live your life in chaos and confusion, and you're doing something just for a chick,
Hmm.
because these people don't believe the stuff that they say. It's no
Yeah,
way.
nah. It's just that it gets traffic, drama sells.
Yeah, and I think because so many people. Here's the thing: name one woman that hasn't been cheated on.
99.9. And if yours not
And if
Stay in
you
that
lucky,
stay in
if
that
you're
relationship.
in that 1%, 0.1% that didn't get cheated on, kudos to you. I
Thank
hope it
you.
don't ever happen to you.
Thank you. Continue staying in that relationship, you know?
You better, because it's rough out here. Let me tell you something. Before I met my husband, I was cheated on a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I also know that life teaches you a lesson. You go through things for a reason. And God don't leave you somewhere too long more than you can bear. So you have to be strong. And then I hear these people, they love to quote the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I don't like to get into the Bible talk with a lot of people, because you got to first know what you're reading. Okay? God didn't say stay in brokenness. He didn't say that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Yeah. He don't want you to get a divorce. He don't want you to be sleeping with somebody, before you marry. But he also wants you to be smart too.
Absolutely. But what I think is that the reason why they kept, nailing Martell to the cross when it came to infidelity and trying to make him the poster child for infidelity is because it sells, and now we know exactly what it is. So people are aware of the schemes that they were doing, because look at the Fletchers, Nell, she had left her husband because he cheated, but you don't see nobody, making videos and threatening and trying to crucify, you know, the Fletchers. You don't see nobody doing that. So why did they do it to Mel and
Well, that's
Martell?
the
Because
whole hot
Mel
mess in
had a
it.
huge fan base to help her push this narrative. Go ahead.
The Fletchers are a whole hot mess in of themselves.
Hmm.
I think that's more like the pot calling the kettle black. And um, here's the thing: I don't want to put nobody business out on Front Street, but I hope they tell their story too. I really do,
Hmm.
because I really feel sorry for Chris Fletcher's daughter.
Hmm.
I do. I feel sorry for her because she's never had the father that Neil kids had, because Neil was too busy trying to make Fitch happen when he was married.
97, 92.7. You have to show your face before your camera. You can show your face behind the, the backs. I have to see your face, and then you can cam down. I still don't see your face. I still don't see your face. You have to cam up before you come up. I still don't see your face. Okay, okay, all right. You can cam down. All right. Hey, 92.7.
Yes, ma'am.
How
Can
are
you
you
hear me?
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. What do you have?
I like watching your channel only because like you have a different perspective than I do.
Thank you
I've
very
never,
much. Thank you very, very much. I try to be non-biased.
I ain't gonna say none biased, but I like your perspective.
Yeah, okay. Well, I try to stand on my truth.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it. And like I said, I really like your channel because it's a different perspective than from what I see, and I like hearing different perspectives. I'm open minded person, so I'm one of
Thank you
the
very much.
yes, ma'am. I'm the type of person that'll watch Fox News just to hear how they feel and like their perspective of things.
Oh,
Um,
so you're not by yourself, because I do too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very insightful on how people think about different things.
Yes.
With this show, I am glad I watched the super trailer. I'm glad it seems to be moving on a lighter note. I don't think everything is gonna be revealed. Like I don't think any truth is gonna be revealed. Not that much. Maybe with Destiny and Sunny and all that situation, but as far as Melody and Martell, like so much is played out on social media and on different blogs and interviews, like the Tasha K interview. So much is played out. I don't know what else could be said that hasn't already been said.
Well, Martell never told his side yet. We only heard Melody. Now we need to hear, Martell's side, because the pictures that Martell showed Tasha K, that right there, that was a lot, and I want to know why no one ever talked about that, how violent that Melody was. Melody wanted to set this entire house on fire and throwing allegedly knives and plants and glasses, and she did a lot, but nobody ever talked about that. So I want to hear, his side, because to me, he was the victim
Mm.
of what we saw.
The domestic situation from what he showed, um, yeah, I mean, like he was, you never supposed to put your hands on anybody, so you can't defend.
Absolutely. And he
You can't
said that. He
defend
said he would never put his hands on Melody. And Melody sat there and say Martell never ever put his hands on her. But we saw that she did.
Yep,
But
yep.
but I want to know why nobody talked about that.
Mm, because I think that people think he might not have put his hands on her, but emotionally, verbally, he was probably abusive. My thing with Martell is the reason I think Martell gets so much backlash is because how he handled the situation. Every
Mhm.
man on that show has cheated. every
Absolutely.
every man on that show has cheated. So I think because Ariane was so vocal in the stuff she said, she didn't only talk about Mel. She talked about pretty much everybody on that cast, including Carlos. So I think that weighed against him. The stuff she said, that Martell told her, and the way she put it out there, it was just too much. Like I've never in my life witnessed a woman that was with a married man carry on the way she's carried on. Like I could not imagine.
So
I could.
let's role play, you and I, okay?
Okay.
You put we gonna put ourselves in their shoes right now. Just say right now, if I'm on a show, I'm Mel, and I'm on a show, and I'm telling, I don't have to come out and say the name, but I'm sitting there and talking about this person every chance that I'm on air, and now I have built a huge fan base and got them sitting there calling this woman crazy and talking about the child, and saying that she broke up a home, and most likely, in her mind, it didn't happen that way. But if I'm constantly talking about a person that cannot tell their story, tell me how you would feel if I sit there and drag you like a dog in a comment, and I don't give you a chance on a platform to tell your story. But I sat there and I talked about you like a dog. Tell me how would you feel? And be like I say in here, we are honest, okay?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest.
And I
One,
talked about you like a dog.
I'm gonna put myself in Arion's shoes, but it's very hard to do because I would never, and I know you're not supposed to say never, but I would never
Mhm.
be in that situation for one. But number two, if I was in that situation and Arion came out on social media before she
I said
was
you. I'm
pregnant,
talking to you. You are,
okay,
and I talked about
no,
you
but I'm
like a
saying,
dog and did not defend yourself. You gonna let me talk about you like a dog and not trying to go somewhere where somebody gonna hear me, and
I
you
would
gonna
have,
just let it go, right?
if I was Ariane, I would have never exposed myself on who she was talking about. No, like maybe people in Huntsville, maybe Marcel, maybe the cast knew, but just people that watched the show, I didn't know who Ariane was until she put herself out there. I think she post a picture of like Martell in some cheetah print underwear. Like, why would you put yourself out there? And Ariane does that all the time. She even does that to Martell. When she gets mad, she'll go make a rant or do a live and she'll say all these disparaging things about Martell most of the time. And it's just like that's very
Because the reason why she did that, because not season two, but season one, Melody brought it to the table. Melody sat there and didn't say Ariane, but she called her a side chick, and she kept that narrative all the way through until now, still doing it. So if I don't have to come out and say 92.7, But like I said, is a way that I know that I'm talking about you and everybody else, especially when it comes to Huntsville. Huntsville is a very, very small town. So, and
Mhm.
then I got people sitting there, calling me and making me look bad. And you think that I'm not going to come out and defend myself? Come on, guys.
She's sleeping with she's having a full, not even just sleeping, she's having a full blown relationship with a married man. Now let's talk about this biblically. What if she might not be a Christian, but what did she think was going to come out of that situation? What good is going to come out of that situation when you living in sin like that?
Well, like I said, who said it was sin? Like I said, we take this European stand, and that's why I sit there and say you have to know how to rightfully divide the word of truth. Because, like I said, most of this stuff is because they put it in there. And you think the same ones that oppress and suppress you is going to tell you the truth? We have to go and do our own research. And when it comes to our ancestors was a part of polygamous. Even in the Bible, if you want to go into the Old Testament, Abraham, he had two wives and concubines. And if you want to talk about King Solomon had over 700 wives. And like I said, we call it a sin because of this European standard, because of what was whitewashed. So, like I say, when it comes to the Bible, like I said, I, you know,
If you
this
want
is
to
my
look at
lane. This is my lane. So let's go ahead and keep it on topic because first of all, I am a minister. Okay.
that's great. What I'm saying is, if you're a polygamist, that's fine. If you want to be a sister wife and all that, that's your choice. If you want to be homosexual, King James, he got the 12 writers of the Bible together to write the Bible, and they say he gay. So, and homosexuality is wrong in the Bible. So, I hear what you're saying, but
Who
what I'm
said it was
saying,
wrong? Like I say,
that's what
the,
I'm
the
saying. That's
Bible,
what
the
I'm saying.
Bible is a written word. It's not the spoken word. Okay. The written word is not going to be with ink or on a piece of paper. The written word is going to come through man, but I'm talking about the spoken word. So, we're not going to get into that right there, but let me go and let you hear this right quick. Okay. And tell me what your thoughts about this right here.
Cheat on me or walk out
Well,
on me.
see, that's what I'm saying. We have to get into definition. Who told us that was cheating? Where did that idea come from that that's cheating? And I'm not saying that a lot of men are not just running around. I'm not talking about that. But if a woman finds out that her man has been with a woman while she's been with him for 3 or 4 or 5 years, that's a serious commitment and relationship. And if it hasn't taken anything from me, if I'm not going short of anything, and if this is what he thinks his responsibility is, then what kind of hell are you going to go through to prevent that? Since we cannot stop him, we have not been successful. The white woman has not been successful in stopping the white man from having another woman. They call them a mistress. We pick up a lot of that terminology. But a man who has 2 women, that's not necessarily a mistress. That's just his other woman. Now we got 2 choices. We can be the woman or the other woman. We don't have it, those two. Now I know we don't like that. I don't like that. But that's the reality.
So, what's your thoughts about that? 92.7.
I think that's her opinion. I think, I mean, I don't know. I don't, if people want to be in a relationship and they are okay with their spouse having outside relations, that's their business. I'm not one that's going to be okay with that.
Are you married?
I am married. I am married and I have two young children.
And how long you been in your marriage? How long have you been married?
For 14 years. We've been married for 4.
So out of the 14 years, your husband never stepped out.
He definitely has.
Thank you.
The difference between Martell and my husband, one, he was apologetic. Two, he made adjustments and reassured me that that situation wouldn't happen again. I can only go off what a person says. What
Mhm.
Martell did, he was arrogant. He said, "No, I can have both of you." I won't.
I don't remember he coming out and saying that. I remember he apologized so many times where
They
he
him
said
and the
he
guy.
was not going to apologize anymore. But the
Him and,
thing about it is that Melody, she cheated as well. Now, there's rumors out there, which we would say allegedly, that she cheated on him first.
I mean,
So if you find that
she
fact
did
out
cheat.
that he cheated on him, that Melody cheated on him first, how would your thoughts would be about Melody? What would you think about that? If you get the information that about to
If
come out that Melody cheated on him first.
if he came out that Mel cheated on Martell first, did Martell know about it?
Well, quite obvious, Martell said he had a feeling because she was holding out on him. If a woman's sitting there, and that's Bible as well. I could show you a scripture where it says that you're not supposed to hold out with your husband no longer than 2 weeks. That means when she's on her cycle. But if this man's sitting there coming and telling you his needs and what he want, and before anything get bad, and you're not going to accommodate that, then what you expect? You expect this man to sit there and just constantly begging and asking, sooner or later he's going to go out, which I wish that he would have went ahead and he would have did it the right way, but he didn't. But just say right now, and that's what I just want you guys to see it, because like I said, I try to look at it, and you might not say it from a non-perspective view, but just say right now, 92.7. If you have a man that been working from sun up to sundown, tearing buildings up, building them back up, and come home, no food, have to bathe the kids, have to cook, have to help the kids with the homework, do you think that this man need a woman in the house if he got a woman in the house and her mother, and they looking for food, and they sitting on the couch chasing after fame? I think it's a good man to me. What man that going to take care of home and outside as well when they got a whole wife and the mother in the house? Make it make sense. And that's all I'm saying. Make it make sense. Hey, country girl. I see country girl in the house. I got to give. She say, hey, happy Saturday, Lady D Pound in chat. Also, I see where Nothing Real says, what did Jesus say about the adulterous woman that was about to be stoned? Absolutely. That's a good scenario right there. It's been 4 years. They are doing too much. I know it's time to let it go. So let me know what's your thoughts about what I said. If your man come home and got to cook, clean up, bathe the kids, and help them with their homework, tuck them in the bed, and you sitting on a doggone sofa dreaming to be a superstar, what's the purpose of having a man in the house or a woman? What you think that man gonna do? I'm talking to you, 92.7.
Give me one
Hello?
second. Give me one.
Okay.
Give me step away for a second. Give me 1 second.
Country Girl says, thanks to everyone for coming by and hitting the like button. Thank you, Country Girl. How was your day today? Are you at work? Hey, Nothing Real said, hey, just butt in when you come on, okay? 92.7. What's your thoughts about it? In my opinion, you there?
I am here.
If just say right now, if your man come home and he got to cook, clean, bathe the kids, help him with the homework, and you got your tail laying on the sofa praying to be famous, and got your mama there waiting for this man to bring food to you, what you think is in that man's mind?
Well, I don't know, because first of all, I wouldn't do my husband like that.
Thank you.
Respect my husband, and he respects my needs as much as I respect his. So I think that's another thing. I think a lot of people put themselves too much into somebody else's shoes without knowing the whole story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And 92.7, I'm just waiting for you to sit there and answer that, because I think Martell is a good father, especially when there are no reports that he have child support on him. So for to say that this man close to 40 or in his 40s and don't have child support, that says a lot. And go to all his kids' events and but yet he's a deadbeat. Make it make sense. I just don't see it. I
Okay,
just don't see it.
what was your question?
The question is, just say if you got your man coming home and he got to clean, cook, bathe the kids, and tuck the kids in bed and help them with their homework, and you got a whole wife at home and her mom, and they sitting on the daggone couch waiting for you to bring food. What's the purpose of you having a man if you said, or a man want you, if the man got to come on from a hard day's work just to sit there and take care of home as well and your mama? Make it make sense.
That it don't make sense. I agree with that, but I don't think that was their situation.
But
I
we
agree
look.
with what you just
Tell me
said.
something. See, tell me something right now. Do you know these people personally?
No, I don't. Heck no.
So
I don't
all
think
we
that's
could
what
do,
women
all
have to
we
do.
could
I
do,
don't think
all we
someone on
could
the people
do
that-
is go by of what they
This
put
is
out.
it.
If we can believe Melody, like I said, we don't have a dog in this fight. That's
But that's
their
not
truth.
even Martell though. Even Martell, he goes back and forth on what he says. 1 minute he'll call Melody a hoe.
I
He'll
never
call,
ever
he'll
heard him
call
call
her,
Melody a hoe. I never ever heard him call
he
Melody a
did
hoe.
when they were about to finalize the divorce. When they
Mhm.
were outside and they had that was supposed to be like their last
Yeah, with
conversation. They were just
that
like,
fur on. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. He called her one right then on that scene.
And what
But
did she call him? She'd been emasculating this man since the beginning. And if he
this is
say
my
one or
point.
two words, if he say one or two words, then they blow it out. What about, let's go ahead and talk about when Melody went ahead and threw the glass at this man's head at the Fletcher's house. What about when she sat there and took lighter fluid and she drenched this man couch and his floor and wanted to set the house on fire? Oh, for love of money, for $17,000. Was it worth that? And this man right there, he
I
gave
think
her
she threw the
grace.
glass. I think she threw the glass for what he said, but I don't think her throwing the glass was okay. I don't think that was right. I don't think Melody is perfect. I dang sure don't think Martell is perfect. I'm just speaking my, perspective on the situation. That's all.
But all I'm just sitting there is saying both hands are dripping. Melody hands is not clean, and Martell hands is not clean as well. But the thing about it is that Melody said there the same things that she's accusing Arion of. She did exactly the same thing. Now it's questioning the last baby. Like I said, there and say at the end of the day, the only ones that's going to get hurt, and that's the children.
But
Now
that's
the child, they say that Martell,
though.
and I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't know if it's true. He did take a DNA, but like I said, Melody hands is. Tell me something right now. If your husband get on your nerves, and I like I said, they're saying here's real talk. I'm not for clicks and likes, and like I said, I want them, but I'm gonna stand on my truth. Just say right now, if your husband get on your nerves, do you go and get you a hotel, or you go like my one of my mods say, go and take a bubble bath? If your husband get on your nerves right now, you gonna leave your husband and the children and go get you a hotel?
Heck no.
Thank you. So Melody did a lot of stuff, and it's time for that stuff to come out. Hey, Bertha. She said, good evening, Lady D in chat. How are you doing, Bertha? Tanya Lee Jones says, hey, here she's just peeping, I guess. Peeps. No, hey, peeps. Yeah, but see, once you start seeing it from a different side, then you start saying, well, yeah, a lot of this right here don't make no sense. But if you got everybody jumping on the bandwagon and saying the same thing, and blowing it all up, then quite obvious you're going to believe the story. But when somebody tell it a little different, because a lot of stuff that Melody did, this girl, when she say she want a piece, she go get a hotel. And not only that, 92.7, she even told people that she don't even like her at the jacuzzi. We want to bring up what Martell called a hoe. What about when she was in the jacuzzi and she said that her husband, from the 14 years or however they've been married, never gave her a big O? So what's the purpose of this man sitting there or laying down with a dead log? Make it make sense.
No,
And she never had a big O.
My purpose in when I was talking about Martell calling Mel out her name was Martell Melody doesn't have to say too much. Martell shows from what we see. I don't know any of these people personally. From what we see, from what they play and show us from the edits, Martell makes himself looks bad from his the things that he says, the ways that he acts. It's nothing to do with what Melody said he did and all that. Like I said, all men cheat. That wasn't. It's how he carried on.
I
Like it
think
just wasn't.
Martell is emotional. He does
Not
not
all
know
men cheat.
how to articulate himself as Melody. So that's why Melody
He's
was
a
able
man
to
though. Martell is a
overpower talk him.
man. So
Yeah,
if
but
we
still
gonna
of
say
all,
Melody has
a
to be
man
held
don't get in all that mess. A man don't get in all that petty
exactly,
stuff,
exactly. That's
and
my
he
point.
didn't. And that's why we want him to start telling it now. Talk like you got diarrhea in your mouth because you out to save yourself. These people are nailing you to the cross. These people are not giving you no grace. Go ahead, God above everything. How are you doing? Welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D.
I'm good and yourself.
Doing great, doing great. How are you? What you got to say, girl, about all this right here?
I feel like they should have been off the show off the second season. I think they should have went to counseling and they should have got everything situated and then they possibly could have went back because there was times that she entertained him that she shouldn't have. And I'm not saying I don't give a care if she was laying up in the house and doing absolutely nothing all day. That's still not excuse enough to go cheat on your wife. And
That's
that's
true.
not and God and Jesus said, you for your husband, your your husband is for you. And he even went as far as saying if you leave your wife and you were looking at somebody else in the process of doing so and you just divorced her for that, that's adultery as well. Like
But still of
it's
all,
not.
look, still of all, like I said, not
Hmm.
everybody said there in the Bible. Even the preachers don't practice what they preach,
Just
okay?
because they don't practice it doesn't mean
But
that you
still
play
of
with the
all,
word.
you
You know what
cannot
I'm saying?
hold,
Like
you
we
can,
can't take
like I
away
said, we
from
talked
his
about
word.
this yesterday. You
Yeah.
cannot sit there and Bible beat no one. Like I said, not everybody is in the Bible. Many
Yeah.
the ones that's in the Bible don't practice. They'll say, Lord, Lord, and he'll say, get from behind me. What I'm sitting there is saying that a lot of stuff, which I'm not going to get into all that right there today, but a lot of stuff that is written in there and all these laws, which I talked about this when it comes to divorces and child custody, is a money racket. They
Well,
know
yeah.
that the average person is not going to stay in a relationship no more than 2 years. They bank on that. That's why the only ones that's going to get rich is the judges and the attorneys. Don't you know, just for child custody, each child is like $5,000. So just say if you got 6 kids, that's like $30,000. That's a money racket. Like I said, it's not for me. I've been in my
I,
marriage for almost 40 years. It's
hmm
not for me, but this generation, any and everything goes. If this man sat there and he was able to take care of two women, maybe his ancestors probably was a king, and nothing was lacking in his home. Melody said nothing was lacking in her home. She said this man took care of her, brought her flowers, pulled a chair out. This man was able to take two homes. If you was in a marriage for 14 years and half of the marriage you had another woman in that relationship, just like Shahrazad Ali said, it wasn't a side chick, it wasn't a mystery, it was a sister wife. And Melody knew exactly what's going on. What she was doing is she was clout chasing. She was waiting for this opportunity, just like they say, Carlos King said, to sit there and pitch this show, make money, and leave.
Now, I agree that she shouldn't have went on the show knowing that there was adultery.
Absolutely.
But I am a person that believes, like what he said at the back of the book, that you can't take away or add to his word. So
Mhm.
if people don't want to go by the full Bible, don't reference the Bible
So
because
do
you
you
don't want to
go?
pick and
Tell me
choose.
something. Do you go? And I'm gonna open up a panel just for you and I. Okay.
Yeah. No, but
Did
I'm
you
saying I'm
leave
not
your
coming at you. I
email?
was just giving my
No.
opinion.
Leave your email, and I'm gonna open up a panel just
I
for you and
emailed
I,
you.
and we can. You emailed me already.
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it, and we're gonna
Yes, ma'am.
open up with just you and I, and we're
And
gonna
I'm not
talk
making it
about
into a
this.
Bible thing. I
No,
was
no, no,
just
no,
referencing
no.
what you're
We're
saying. I
going
was
to
just
make
saying.
it, me and you. We're gonna make it into a Bible thing. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
open up, and I'm gonna set the platform just for you and I, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about stuff like this. So,
Now
do
remember,
you
she a
believe
baby Bible.
everything?
Remember, she the
Huh?
baby Bible. Remember, she baby. She
Oh, I
just got
Okay,
it.
am. I was
but
just
this
saying.
this the
I
thing. This
promise
the
I'm
thing. What
not
I want to tell
being
you. Do
disrespectful with
you
that. I'm saying
believe?
it is
No,
a
no, no. You
that
have a right to
religion
your
is
opinion. Yeah, you have a
monogamous. You know what I'm saying? Like they do. It was Adam and Eve, not Adam and like multiple
look,
women,
look,
or
look, look.
Eve
Let
with
me tell you
multiple
something.
wives.
Hold on
You
one
know?
second. Let me tell you something. Do you believe in the whole Bible?
Yeah, and I know Abraham. I know what
So
happened with
I'm gonna
Sarah and
ask
his
you one
maiden
more time.
wife.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. Do you believe in the whole Bible? Do you live
Yes,
by
I
every
do.
scripture? Every scripture in that Bible you believe?
I believe everything within the Bible.
Oh, so when it says slave obey your masters, do you believe that?
Was that in the Old Testament or the New
That's
Testament?
the New Testament. That's in Timothy,
When obey your master,
Titus.
then I don't know what to say.
So do you still think that you should be a slave then? Because it
I'm
says
not a
slave obey
slave.
your master.
I'm not a slave.
Hmm.
But in society,
But
we
if the
we
Bible
we
says
follow the
slave,
laws.
so
You
if the
know.
Bible says slave obey your master. So you're
Yeah.
going to sit there, and that's the topic that you and I going to talk about. Like I said, you have to know exactly how to rightfully divide the word of truth. That's why the Bible say the Bible is for
No, I wasn't
correction.
being disrespectful.
No,
In the
no,
back of
no,
the
no.
Bible,
Don't
he
take it. Don't
says,
take
"Don't
me
take away
personal.
from my word and don't add to my word." He
But
said, "Don't,"
and that's
because you're
what.
going to get punished accordingly.
Hold on,
That's all
hold
I'm
on.
saying.
No,
I
I'm
wasn't
gonna
being
teach you.
disrespectful. I promise.
I'm going to teach you, okay? Because you're a babe in Christ. Like I said there
Yeah.
and say, this is my lane. First of all, the Bible is for reproof and for correction, okay? The
Yes.
there is a spoken word which was written, which Moses said the Moses word is going to soon be faded away, okay? And after
Hmm.
that, I'm gonna leave that alone. So if the word, written word, is soon going to be fading away, it's not written on ink or on paper, but it's written in the man's heart. That means the word is going to come out of your mouth. I don't look at the Bible as pre-entrance stories. I look at it Bible prophecy. What we are telling now, we are writing our story right now. And what have been given to us was a whitewash lie. And now it's time for us to tell our story. Who could tell
Oh,
it better than the ones that's been through it? We are the ones that's living this word right now. So like I said there and say,
I,
we have to know
yes,
what to
ma'am.
chew and what to go ahead and spit out, okay?
But I will
But
say this: when they got
mhm,
married, I don't think they had in their vows,
who is
"I'm going to
they?
marry."
Who is they?
Melody and Martell, I don't think that he told her, "I'm going to marry you and then I'm going to have another
No, no,
woman
no, no,
and then we're
no,
going to be,"
no.
when they made those vows with each other and they made that agreement, I don't think they agreed upon
Well, you
being
never
cheated on or
know.
cheating on each
Just
other.
like the sister
So
said,
even then they're breaking the
92.7.
vow between each other. Even if we don't want to go biblically, we're going off of
Yeah.
what they might have said in their verses and the promises that they made to each other.
Yes.
And I
But
don't think it is right. It's just adding chaos. You know what I
no,
mean? You
no,
can only
no.
give so
Just
much to one person.
yes,
And I come
but
from African culture. I know my African background. I
mhm.
know some people speak about polygamy and they may have never even came from a tribe that was practicing polygamy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
it's
all
a money
Africans
grab.
practiced polygamy. And I know
Mhm.
if they did have polygamy, that if you had multiple wives, because my aunt Martha, she was married to a Nigerian man of high standard. Her
Mhm.
husband didn't practice it, but his family did. You had to, if you bought that one girl a Mercedes, you had to buy another Mercedes for the other one. If
Yes,
this woman had a big house, the other one wasn't living in a little
absolutely.
house. She was paying for the exact same. So if we're going to go by the laws and standards of even African tradition, some people are
Mhm.
not even following that because he wasn't even giving Arion the same type of quality lifestyle that he was providing for
Ariana,
Melody.
I think, well, it'll never happen because the queen gonna always get first off the table. You
No,
see what
an
I'm saying?
African thing, they all are equal. It's no
But
one comes
didn't
before the other one.
but didn't he purchase a Mercedes for
Yeah,
Ariana?
and Melody
Ariana
had a
living real,
Range Rover and another
yes,
Mercedes, and she
but
had a bigger house
Ariana,
than her.
but it doesn't matter. Ariana is living really good. The house that we saw inside, very clean, and she's in a house. She's
Hmm.
not in apartment. I think he did really good, bomb. And
Yeah,
now
I
they
know.
saying that
No,
they in business together, building something else. But
He
the
took
thing about
his and Mel's money and spent it on a woman that he was having a relationship with that she didn't know about.
because
Mm.
he looked at it as the sister wife.
Not technically
But
law
you can't
by
do
they
that if
both
the
of their
other person
money.
doesn't agree.
Hmm.
It's not
The
right what he was
second wife
doing.
has to agree to it.
She
Like,
did. Melody did. Melody went to the home. She went to Arion and sit with Arion and the mother. And they talked about Martell, according to what Tasha K had put out. He told Tasha K, Melody drove to Arion's house. Melody knew. You can't tell me if someone been in a relationship for half of your marriage and you didn't know, and you living in a small town called Huntsville, you blank, you passed it up. Melody knew. Melody was clout chasing. Melody, she was there until she could sit there and get this big whatever she needed to do, and so she can give him deuces. She put this toxic relationship on display, and if she thought that this stuff was going to play a happy after ending, then she had to be out of her mind. She knew what she was getting, and she knew good and well she was not with that man. She knew that she had left in and out, in and out, in and out. And just like Martell said, lay it all on the table, Martell. Martell said there and he told Dr. Heavenly, Melody, when she came back, she went and got rid of that child. Martell said then say didn't even give him the opportunity to make that decision. So if you're gonna lay out all the dirt, lay it out. And
There
not
was two
only
hurt
that,
people that shouldn't have been on that show.
no, they
Like,
shouldn't have been. You think all the hell that I've been through with my marriage? Do you think that I'm going to put my toxic relationship for the entire world to pick it apart? So
No,
how
ma'am.
people sit there and spin the narrative and they talk about it, you can't get mad. You can't sit there and dox and try to shut down people channel. You put your toxic relationship, you air it out, so you free game.
I just think it was a hot mess. I really wish they would have went to counseling and then like probably sat out a season and truly got the healing that they deserved. And we would have probably had a better storyline for both of them because they would have had their own things going on. They would have been healed and they wouldn't be interacting. And I think they should have been stopped filming with each other, period, like that. If they're
Well,
both
see,
uncomfortable, like why even put yourself in a situation like
she
that
because she
and be
wanted
around
to bank
people?
off of she wanted to bank off the fame. Melody put this out. Even Carlos King was shocked. She did it on season one. Melody could when they all was round the table talking about business, that's all they should have talked about. Her personal life should never have been on the table. Melody wanted to make it all about herself, and she beat this dead horse until she couldn't beat it no more. Go ahead, T Jones. How you doing? Welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D. What you got?
Anyways, how y'all doing today?
Doing great.
Did you see the trailer?
Yes, 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 yes. Did you see my trailer?
No. I
Because
got to go.
I can't play his, but I sure
All right.
played mine. Make sure you go to the beginning and see mine, okay? Because like I said, if you're gonna lay it out, lay it all out, okay? Even the part when she sat there and tried to set this house on fire with that man in. So what you got to say about all this right here?
But the conniving and the manipulation of it all for me, even with him going to jail,
That's what I hated.
she been filed those charges. Why she waited right up until filming, knowing he had those kids in the car? That was storyline right there.
Hmm.
If you notice, she's starting off already. Martell is the beginning of her storyline. We don't know what's gonna happen in the middle and how it's gonna end, but right now he's the main target.
Absolutely.
She did that purposely, and the way they have edited it, looked like she did it right in time for filming. She knew exactly what she was doing, and they want to talk about his mental illness. But y'all start to show off this season the trailer. They could have gave us a little something different with the trailer. We already knew from YouTube what was kind of like going on with that. They should have put Sunny and Destiny up there. They shouldn't have even used Martell as the headline of that trailer. That was wrong too.
Absolutely, absolutely. What you got to say about it, in my opinion? Uh,
I will say this. I think the reason why that came up is because Carlos King also brought it up in his
about what came up.
Martell's arrest.
Okay.
He brought it up at his show, and the live show is supposed to also play on this season. So I think that's how it initially, because when they was doing the show, he had just got arrested. So I think that was a big topic because of that. I hope that they don't drill into this because we all know what it is. It was communication through text. It wasn't him putting his hands on her.
Can you say that again, ma'am? It was because of what?
communications in text and not him actually putting his hands on her.
So was it because of RP?
No, it had nothing to do with that. It was the way he threatened her in a text.
So
Okay,
it
so
wasn't RP. It was what?
no, it was text. It was
So
harsh
please,
text.
please,
So
stop
here in
running with that
Alabama,
lies. So stop
here in
running with that
Alabama,
lies, people.
if you're dating
It was
somebody,
harassment communication.
Yes. So
yeah.
stop running
So
with the
here in
lies.
Alabama, if you're harassing somebody that you've been intimate with, it falls up under DV. I don't know why, but it does.
So why did they kept running with this narrative that it was RP?
To make him look worse than he
Because that's
already
what
looking.
no, she put the battery in their back because notice
Thank
in the
you.
trailer she says the same thing.
I don't even know why that's a storyline. Like that should be not even covered, honestly, being that if that's something that's that serious, why y'all
And
even
wasn't
talk? You know what I
true.
mean? Like why you even filming about it? Why are you talking about it? That's it's giving storyline, and I'm not trying to belittle whatever she went through at the same time, because at the end of the day, I don't like how she moves. I think that everybody is opportunistic. I think that the only reason why she won't leave the show is I think that she doesn't think that her fan base is capable of staying with her if she's not in their face and keeping
Hmm.
up with some type of drama. I feel like honestly she knows the fan base that she has, that if she were to leave the
Absolutely.
show, they would not be
Support her.
caring about what she's got going on or supporting her
Absolutely.
anymore. So that's like her is a double-edged sword. But
Hmm.
as far as like I did find it kind of odd that that happened at the time that it happened around the time that they went on vacation together. Why was it not pursued? The information that she had gained only just basically said what he already explained and said what he was going to do in the text. So she didn't need any more evidence. He told on himself literally in the text. Why
Hmm.
not put charges on him right then and there? And like in my opinion said, it's convenient that it happened along the time that it was filming. Every
14
time
months.
something
It
happens,
says
it's in filming time.
it said 14 months. She waited 14 months to drop that because she was waiting for something, to continue this narrative. Bertha Raymond said, isn't that what happened with the altercation at Destiny Business relaunch? Mel went live with the confrontation with Wanda just because the new season started. She was filming and they stopped her. Yeah, Mel did a lot of stuff. Mel knew that Destiny was opening up her new business and knowing that Miss Wanda was trying to get her business out. Melody went and threw a wrench in both of their business in the same day because she don't want to see nobody else prosper but herself.
I agree.
I agree as well.
And her fans, they are very mentally challenged because this girl is a jack of all trades when it comes to scamming and scheming. Look how she put those T-shirts up, and I know one thing they haven't sold out, but of course she gonna say they almost sold out. They went and brought that foolishness, the millimeters, and all this foolish stuff. It's just too much. And like I say, it's not about disliking her because at one time she was my favorite person on that show. I liked her little style, but it didn't take long for her to show her face. And like the young lady was talking, on the biblical aspects of everything. I
Hmm.
understand everything that she's saying, but
Hmm.
at the end of the day, they both wallowed in. They both wallowed.
Yeah,
It
they
it
both
really doesn't
committed.
matter who did it first.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
they both was
They
married.
both
So
they both was married. They both went against the vows.
yeah.
If we want to go back to the Bible, somebody have to be the stronger vessel.
Mhm.
When your husband can't be that stronger vessel, that's what our backbone is for. So my thing is this: God say this and God say that. God didn't never tell you peace be still.
Mhm.
Peace be still in all of this, because at the end of the day, you're not only affecting yourself, you're affecting your children.
And that's the ones that's going to get hurt the most, and that's why they going to be accountable at the end, because they hurting the kids. And once the kids see all this, on social media, because our kids are very smart, and those kids watching all that, and once they get a little older, they might not even have nothing to do with both of them. I don't know, but like I said there and say, I'm glad that Martell made the decision, a wise decision, to not film his children. Dark and Lovely says, my question, didn't she try to blackmail Martell, stating if he would let the kids film, that she would drop the charges? That's what she wanted. She knows she couldn't keep beating this horse and sacrificing Martell. So now she feels, okay, I can get these fans to come on board with me. Let me grab and throw my kids in the mix of all this toxicity. But the devil is a liar. Martell say, hell no. Go ahead and answer this question right here with Dark and Lovely. Anybody can go ahead and take a crack at it, where she says, my question, didn't she try to blackmail Martell, stating if he would let the kids film, that she would drop the charges? What's your thoughts about that, guys? Anybody can go ahead and
Where did
Yeah,
that
she
come
Yeah,
wanted
from?
she wanted that
I don't know
because
nothing about that.
she started the hair care line with baby girl. And because Martell had it in the divorce, which I'm gonna send you the divorce decree and everything. He had it in the divorce decree that the kids couldn't film because of the harassment that he received on this show. He did not want that to trickle down to his kids, which I respect wholeheartedly. I'm a parent. I gotta look out for the best interests of my kids. And so her thing was, well, if you let me make this money for them, I'm making it only for them. It's gonna be in their savings account. I won't touch it. And if you let me film with them, then I will drop the charges. That's something kind of crazy, because now you're saying, okay, put my kids' life in danger so I can make money for them
ain't that
that they're not
sad?
gonna touch until they're grown.
Yep, he made
Actually,
what's
it's
best
all
for the
about
kids.
money when it comes. It's all about money when it comes to this. Money is the ruler.
Well, we already know it's all
Depends
about money
on
with her, when she wanted to sit
it.
there and lit the whole entire house on fire for $17,000. She risking her life for $17,000. And I think it was one of you. I think T Jones. You remember we asked the question? Someone said that Martell would have gotten arrested too, because the kids was in the car. I want to know, how did Martell would have gotten arrested when he said there, went in the house, and he could have told the police, I'm trying to save her, to stop her from lighting that house on fire. So if anybody would have got arrested, it would have been Melody. Why would Martell be dragged in it?
Okay,
it,
so
it was recorded. He had
here in
everything on
yeah, but
recording, so he wouldn't have had to open his mouth and say a word.
no,
That
here in
phone
the
was
state
gonna
of
speak for
Alabama,
itself.
he would have been arrested too. This is the reason why. Here in the state of Alabama, if you get into a domestic dispute and you don't leave and something happens, you both have to go to jail for 24
But why
hours.
would he leave out his own house?
I don't understand it neither. This is the Alabama law, but that's
I'm
just
gonna,
how
I'm gonna have,
crazy
I'm
it
gonna ask
is.
my sister. My sister, I'm gonna ask my sister.
Um, can I give my opinion about the kid thing?
Go ahead.
I don't find it right to have any children on the internet, because I feel like there are really perverted people out here in this world. And I feel like children should be safe, and no one should have access to children unless they are a part of, like, what I mean by access is by visually seeing them and knowing what's going on with them, besides those who are actually in the person's life. Because you don't know who's observing you, who might be obsessed too much. But I
Mhm.
find like they're tit for tat, both of them. And I'm not no millimeter. I used to be one, because I opened my eyes, and my mom even opened my eyes and she was like, she's bitter. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm going to say
Mhm.
is this: you can't in one breath want one group of children not to be on there, and you got a whole page for the other child to be on the internet. And we can't say that that's something that Arion did too, because her daughter's not on the internet. Paris is not on the internet. So
Mhm.
they're both petty. Like, they should not have those kids on the internet at all. They shouldn't be trying to build up a fan base for some children, for some grown adults. Like, what adults are interested in children's lives and well-being anyways? Like, we can wish the best for them. I want them to prosper. I pray that they continue to grow and be great and become great adults, but I don't have any interest or care to see them. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do they need to be on an adult show?
Hmm.
Why do they need to be on the internet? Like, I don't understand it.
I think the kids should be off limits in all aspects when it comes to the show. They shouldn't be brought up at all. Nobody think about the scrutiny they have to go through at school. Somebody watches this. Somebody kids are watching this. You know what I'm saying? And she has no clue. You
I think
I
the
I
reason
don't get
why
it.
I don't know if I'm right, and I'm gonna say allegedly. I think the reason why Martell does not want the kids film anymore on TV, but I think Arion's child gonna be on is because Melody. I think she was trying to sell some products for sugar. The last one, Sugar Mama. What's her name? The last one name. The last baby.
Sugar
Sugar.
mama.
Mama.
Yeah, for
The
Sugar
little baby
Mama.
that she is so
And he was saying,
fascinated
yeah, he was
over.
saying that everybody should have got a cut out of that money because that was his child as well. And I think she didn't want to go ahead and give a cut to all of his children. And that's when he said then cut it down. And also I think because of the producer had asked the questions with the kids, who do they favor the most, the dad, the mom or the dad? And he thought that it was out of line. So guys, if y'all, got any y'all know more about it, just feel free. Y'all there?
I think okay, so he was doing that when he thought she was going into the sales money.
Hmm.
He wanted to audit. What he was trying to do was get the court to audit it, and she claimed that wasn't a part of it because it was set up after the divorce.
Yeah, I knew something like that.
So he wanted accountability of what the money was going to, and I can't deny him from doing that because that's his kid too. If you're gonna monetize off of his kid, then it should have been something they entered into together. Because they essentially these supposed to be their kids.
Hmm.
I think it's really bad when you involve the court system in these dramas, and we are filing petitions and orders like we changing our draws, which they both did.
Yeah. The Melanus messed that up, Bertha. Bertha says it was so much fun when coverage was just about what was shown on the show. I used to love listening to the recaps and break down the day of weeks. Devil in the mix destroyed the joy. Absolutely. Simone says Mel and Martell need to work on themselves before bringing their children on TV. I think they should just go their separate ways. Simona says also on other reality TV shows like Bravo, sometimes they show the kids. However, in the relationship, the parents were in a healthy relationship. I think they messed it up because it was dealing something with money.
It's sad to say, but the show is so detrimental to me. I think they need to cancel. They just
I
need to
don't think
cancel
so.
that.
At first, I was saying that all through the other videos, I was saying they should cancel. But now, since Melody,
It
she
don't
got
seem like the
Nubia. I
narrative
think
is changing.
Melody should just leave. Go ahead and ice her out, and they can go ahead and put Huntsville back on the map and do what they're supposed to do, and that's build up Huntsville.
Because this is like as the world turns.
It's very toxic and demonic, in my opinion. I
It
think people are
is.
It
too
it really
attached to it
is.
in a way that it's just absurd. Like, y'all cover things that y'all just see, like, you know what I mean? But there are some people, they will get online all day and they will look at somebody's profile and see what they had just posted, and they want to try to find out, like, you're trying to look up their lawsuits, you're trying to look up their financials, you're trying to boycott a business that you never purchased the
That's
product from
sad.
in the first
That's sad.
place. That's just, to me, and honestly, I'm gonna say something. We talked about it. Our God is not little. My God is not
Hmm.
a little God. He said, whenever you have an enemy, if they're hungry, feed them.
Mm-hmm.
If they need you, you give to them. I'll take care of them. It's like what he say, hot coals on their head. He'll take
Mm-hmm.
care of it. You don't need to do nothing. God doesn't. When David went up to Goliath, he didn't need not one man. He just had a stone and a faith of God, and he was able to take that giant down. That Martell would have been nothing to him. He would have humbled him and had him where he come back. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing about it too is, don't think and knock somebody down because of the adultery. David, he like took out a man because he slept with his wife.
Mm-hmm. You
And we
right
know
now.
what happened with him, and he still had favor with God. God still loved him. We all
Mm-hmm.
fall short, but it's gotten to the extent where you have these people who want to beat a dead horse that happened 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the fallout is it's a reoccurring situation because we are human beings. If we're being attacked, we're going to retaliate, especially if we're not where we need to be in our walk. We're going to go back and we're going to defend ourselves. So
Mm-hmm.
when they defend, the sick part about it is when these people on the cast defend themselves about the allegations or the attacks that's being put upon them by these content creators, the content creators then turn around and gaslight them and make it seem like they're being over dramatic and they're coming out of nowhere talking about them and obsessing over Melody when they're not. They're just defending themselves from the attacks that's been brought to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a
And
hot mess.
that's why I think that because of Melody not dismantling it, or she's still promoting the millimeters, I think it's going to hurt her business wise in the long run, because she could put a stop to it. They even asked her to put a stop on it, but she came on social media, dancing and poking fun and saying, she's not going to disassociate herself. Well, you're going to go down with the ship as well.
She's passive aggressive as well. Like I watched
Very.
Butterfly's page. And when she was showing the video, I had been peeped that when she was on that, she was never on TikTok like that. And I guess she got mad because Stormy was getting actual like
Yeah.
success and being recognized on a level that she's yet to be recognized by. See, because she's recognized by people that obsess over the show. People that
Hmm.
recognize what Stormy's doing are people that just simply like her product, not because she's been through some trauma that they can relate to. They just like her product and they buy it. She was on
Hmm.
TikTok and she did like some interviews and she was doing stuff. And then old girl went on a live talking about how she don't want to smell like some strawberry and
Yeah, I
then
heard that. I
referencing
saw
some
that.
white man's perfume, not clashing with some white man's perfume. I'm like, you talk about black excellence, but then you use a white man's product as a standard of wealth to determine your value as a person. It's odd.
Wow.
It's just out
Wow.
of bounds to me. It's just like it's hypocritical and it's also double-minded. I don't know if people really are like, step back. If you want to support her, nobody's stopping you from supporting her. I heard that smell good. I really want to try that product.
Yeah, how does it smell, in my opinion? I might order me some this week. How it smells? Because Melody wants to say, nobody want to smell like a fruit, but she was wrong for doing that. But that
Listen
just
here.
show you
You want to
jealousy,
drive
very
your man
jealousy.
crazy? Put on some of these.
Uh,
Baby, let me tell you, I have one in every color, okay? One in every flavor. And I even got the body oils. And when I put it on, he'll be like, oh, you ready? I'll be like, no, I just want to smell good.
So
And
it makes your skin shine and stuff.
it does. It's actually good for eczema. Like I have eczema
Okay.
of skin, and so do my kids. The
Country
children
girl
love
says,
it
show
more
it
than me.
again. Country girl wants you to show it again.
Okay.
You know she's coming out with like 6 new scents next week.
Put it to the screen. Yes, indeed. Body Glaze by Stormy. I'm gonna order me some. She coming out with what?
She's
As y'all
coming
can
out with 6 new scents next week,
see
and
that,
she has like a
I'm
sample
using it.
size. Like she gives
Okay.
out these samples where you can smell all of her products. They're like she said like a half an ounce, but it's enough for you to get like the feel of it, so you'll know what you want to purchase before you make like a
So
big
how much is one
Now, if
is?
you don't want to smell like
like.
let me tell you something. You don't want to smell like no fruit scent from heaven. Okay, it smells like a soft perfume. It is
Which
amazing.
one you have? Which one you have?
I have the drunken peach. I have the strawberry. I have the pineapple upside down, and I also have the scent from heaven.
Yes, I love when you support black businesses. Oh my God. And
And
how
how
much
much
is
is
how
it?
much yeah, how much is it? One.
I think the sample
I
one they
think it's
said is
like
$18.
$13.
Oh,
Ooh, you got a
$10.
good deal.
Mm-hmm.
$10 not bad. So what you went on her site or on TikTok?
I went on her site. I ordered it on the Friday and I got it on the Tuesday.
Okay, so her site is what's the site name is? Because I'm about to go in
Canvas
and order
Girl.
Canvas.
CanvasGirlBeauty.com.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and order mine, and I'm gonna show you guys what I don't order. And so you said which ones did you order? Because you said you got four of them.
I have the strawberry shortcake,
Mm-hmm.
the drunken peach,
Drunken
the
peach. My husband
pineapple
might like
upside down, and
pineapple
sent from
upside
heaven.
down. And what from heaven?
Sent from heaven.
Oh my God! And all of them smell good,
All of them smell amazing. And let me tell you
amazing.
something. That
Yes.
shine you get, it lasts you a whole day.
And that's what I like. Cause see, I don't even use lotion. I like to use Vaseline. So I want that shine. I like that shine on my legs, honey,
Me
and
too.
on the
You know,
and
when
on
your
them
mama greased
elbows,
you
on
up
them
with
elbows.
Vaseline, that's what I like.
Yeah, I don't. I use lotion. You know, after I take my shower, I use lotion. But I also like to use Vaseline as well.
I'm proud of Stormy. I
Me
used
too.
to
Me
be
too.
a millimeter, and I my eyes got open to everything. You know, when you start getting discernment about stuff, you start realizing certain things
Mm-hmm.
are toxic, and they're just
Praise
not right. You
God.
know, and we're not supposed to worship a person. And I really said some bad things about Stormy, and now
Mm-hmm.
retrospective, I see her, I'm like, you know what, these are all human beings and they're all making it, and I'm really proud of her. And something that nobody can take away from her is all those reviews on TikTok, all these people that really do like her product, that's bought her product,
Mm-hmm.
and it speaks volumes to that. It's just off of them liking it. It's not because they saw her on the show and she went through some type of trauma and they
Mm-hmm.
want to buy it just out of spite of, you know, and not saying that Melody's product is not good, because I'm not going to sit here and try to tear her down either. But I like that Stormy um is really like, she was already doing good with her hair products, but she's even doing better now. I'm just happy for her, you know, and she
Wow.
deserves that.
Yeah, she was on and popping before the show.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am, she was.
But it's a shame. I don't know how you could say and talk about God and God this and give people these motivational speeches, but yet you want to talk about a black person's small business. You want to talk about their products. You know, make it make sense. It doesn't make no sense to me. To me, that's what you call jealousy, a green eye monster, because she should have never even put her mouth if anybody want to smell like strawberries. Make it make sense.
And that's not the only scent she got though. That's the thing that's gagging me.
While
It's like she's got
promoting white
unscented.
products, you know,
Yeah, like
just
talking
like you
about
said.
Time Forward, and then she's got unscented. She's got the heavenly scent. They said, what did you say? The SEMA. She's got, even like she's dropping another 6 cents. Like she's got so many different scents that actually people who are well versed in perfumes have said that it pairs well with the perfume that they have. So it's just
Hmm.
like to pick one scent and then try to make it seem like that's the whole brand and then belittle
Hmm.
it in the same breath. I'm just like, bro. And like I was
Hmm.
watching again Butterfly, like she made a point, like how are you going to use some white girls, and I'm not being mean or racist,
No, go ahead,
but you
girl.
can use some white girls to try to tear down her business off of one video you had to have searched really hard to look for, you had to have
That was
typed
like
it
a
in,
punch in my gut. That
like, you
when
know.
they had that white girl on.
And then
Yeah, they chant they content. That I hated that. Go ahead.
And then in the same breath, when Kyle comes to protect and serve, like basically like, hey, this is not right, y'all lying. They're like, this white man ain't my master, like, but you were using the master's wife as a means to try to tear another black woman
Wow.
down. What are you talking
Mm-mm.
about? Like, it's the, to me, just just like the girl's product that you like. And that's how I know it's demonic and it's chaotic, because
Yes.
God does not, he's not an author of chaos. He's not an author of confusion. This is why this world runs so well. And what I mean by that
Yeah.
is human beings are kind of wicked, but the world still is on its axis. The sun still comes up. The moon still goes up and comes down. We still have oxygen. We still have, you know, all these things because God has a perfect balance with everything. The way that they're moving, it's
Hmm.
like you're dwelling. I feel like, and I hate to say this because I'm not trying to belittle any situation anyone has gone through, because I know that when you put your heart and your everything into a relationship, into a marriage, and you're disrespected, it's hard and it's hurtful. And I know she's still hurting, and she probably still loves Martell. And she don't, she probably feels betrayed. But I feel like these women, they have never said these things to the men that have disrespected them in their life. So they're using this man as like a metaphor, like a way to like attack the man in their life that they can't stand up to. It's
That's
like, you know what I mean? Like you go into that class and you beating up on that little, the one that's got the stand and the guy, and he's like a little rubber thing, and you're hitting him. But even though you're hitting that thing, you're imagining the person that you really want to hit while you're doing it. It's like Martell is that for them, because they've been dragging this on too long, and they've taken it to a point where it's just like you're doing too much.
He's
And
the
it,
sacrificial lamb. That's what he is.
and
They
even
long as they
Letitia
beating
too.
him,
It's
long
not
as
just
they beat
Martell
Tisha,
though.
Tisha,
It's
yeah,
all
Tisha
of them.
too. Yep, all of them.
Like
Kiki,
why?
Kiki, all of them. She used everybody that can't cross the path.
And can we be honest though? Because you had said this before, and I was like, whatever. You don't know what you're talking about when I was a millimeter, but you were speaking the truth.
Who me?
People need to, yes, ma'am.
What I
I've heard you in
said?
talks before. You was like, she's come for Tisha and the Scotts, and they're trying to break up their marriage, but they're mad because their marriage is still together. You were speaking the truth, and my eyes were blind at that time. But
I'm
when you
glad you
look
woke.
back, she really was being hateful. Nobody brought up her marriage but her. Then she got mad because she wanted to talk about everybody else's marriage. But when they were given the opportunity to have an opinion on her situation, she wanted everybody to be mum. And then when her situation didn't go favorably for her, she turned around and tried to bring a woman on the show that supposedly might have cheated
That's
with
just wrong.
Marceau. And to me, I'm like, that's not even Christian. That's
So
not
what
even a
woke you up?
God.
What had woke you up when you
When that happened with Anthony, when that
o-
situation happened with Anthony Lofties, and I'm not no pick
okay.
me. I'm not no pick me. I was just raised to see right from wrong. My mama raised
Mm-hmm.
me to where if somebody you don't like comes in and she looks bomb, don't lie and say she looks ugly simply because you don't like her. Don't lie.
Yes.
You're going to still give her props. You're still going to give that
Mm-hmm.
person their props. You may not like them, but you're still going to be able to say, hey, this is a business person. This is a
Mm-hmm.
pretty person. This is a person that's got it going on. I don't like them, but I'm not about to take away from them. And I found it odd that when he was doing reviews for her and he was doing all this stuff to Destiny, she didn't speak up. She didn't say nothing. When he was doing these reviews about the Scots and all that stuff, she didn't speak up or say nothing. But when he alluded to asking, because he
Mm-hmm.
had to ask these people because some of them are deranged. He had to ask, would you be capable? Are you capable enough as an adult to still like somebody and call them out for doing something disrespectful? Because he didn't like the fact that she did the drug test.
Oh,
Imagine if
and so
Martell would have
they
came.
turn on him because
Yes,
of that.
he because he said that one statement. He didn't even start on, and we
Wow.
didn't even know about the drug test yet. He just said, "Would you be able to call her out if she was in her wrong, if she ever did something wrong?" And they just went off. They went like it was like somebody said, "Would you be able to say that Jesus wasn't the son of God or something?" Like, you know what I mean? Like it was that equivalent to the
Mm-hmm.
response that they gave. And
Wow.
he was alluding to the way that they treated
So
Kiki
just
and how
because of
they
that
exploited her
statement, they jumped on
situation.
Anthony because
Yeah,
just of that statement.
from what I seen allegedly, because I gotta put that out there. He had put that on a live. Then she turned around and then he said something about something happened with the manager, and it wasn't his manager. She was really his mentor. Her manager was his mentor, and he put out this stuff, but then she went on a live, and that's what made me open my eyes to her, because she was like, yeah, if y'all really like me, y'all really mess with me, y'all shouldn't be subscribing to him,
Wow.
if and then on top of that, something about mandate reporters, and that she's going to have, if you are a mandate reporter, call her up, we're going to report, all because the man said, would you be able
Get into no, she said get into my DMs if you're a mandate.
yeah, get into my DMs. And it was all of that
So
because,
she called her followers to get into her DM
but
And
because
that's what
they
of
I'm
that
did,
saying.
and
How
they
statement.
can you
did,
tell
and
them
then
you
they
can't tell
called
them to
that man
stop?
job. They called that man
Yep.
job, tried to get him fired because they were
Wow.
saying that he was misusing the minors, but he doesn't work with minors.
Like he
Mhm.
still has the same job. He's still working there, even though that happened. And to me, it was just like, bro, is it like these people on the show that you work with, off of their obsession with you, they brought out lawsuits, they brought out potential children that they still haven't no evidence of showing. Other women that they supposedly mess with that you still have no evidence of showing. They did all this and they still clock in. They didn't, come on the internet trying to make people unsubscribe to them or try to take down their channels. They just kept it rolling. Anthony said something about, would y'all be able to call her out for if her doing something wrong, which was that I believe it was that drug test because
Hold
I
her.
felt like
No,
it
it
was
was
wrong.
hold her. It was which I'll
Hold her
be able
accountable.
to hold her accountable if she did something unthinkable.
Yes. Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am.
And
And
that was
they,
because Kiki was in his DMs telling him about the trip to Houston, where Kiki wasn't protected.
yeah, and I think
Wow.
she exploited her with that drug test too. I think that was disrespectful. I think that if you
Mhm.
believe your friend, that's like if Martell would have came up there with a paternity test. Like he came up there with a, and I want to take a test for the last one. You know what I mean? She went
Mhm.
off of someone just saying that. Now imagine if someone would have brought a kid. Like it's
Wow.
disrespectful. And he was just being protective of Kiki. And I don't think he was being malicious. And I think that they took it as a meant of being malicious. He's just a person that looks at all sides and is able to call out wrong for what the wrong is. And I don't
Mhm.
think some people have that depth. I think that once they're stuck on one thing, they can only create a narrative to continue to support that thing 100% without
Mhm.
critiquing that very thing that they support. And I think it's her,
Wow.
and I think that's why they went off on the level that they did, because I'm like, all because he asked, would you be able to hold her accountable? Like, or am I in the twilight zone? Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, they didn't even cut up like this when Jesus was being put up on the cross. Like, nobody, like,
Mhm.
God himself didn't even come down and, like, yeah, he tore some stuff up a little bit, but he didn't actually kill the people or not. No, I mean, I'm sorry, didn't actually take out the people or anything like that. So, yeah, that's what opened my eyes about her. I was like, that's too much. You
Mhm.
doing too much. And then for her to say she can't control her fan base, but you're the reason why this man had all this harassments
But
allegedly
she
and had
called them
all
all
this
into
people.
her DM, but yet she can't control them. Is that's a
Exactly.
godly person? Then that's what you call a godly person to try to stop someone else's business, or just because someone saying something, you want your entire cult to turn on them? That's why I sit there and say these people got some kind of Ponzi scheme, just like Butterfly said, something going on.
It's
Country girl say,
idolization.
"Child, I'm going to have to start watching now." So let Melody go. Do you think it's time for Melody to be iced out? It's time for them to sit there and come together and just, because in my opinion, was sitting there saying, this is her contract ended this year. So do you think that they should renew a contract or just let her go and focus on what she got going on? What you think about that? God above everything.
I think that she needs to step away because I don't even think the ones that call themselves her fans are truly her fans for the way that they go about doing things. They're
Mm,
jeopardizing her business and her livelihood and her reputation by the way that they move and the way they attack people.
mm.
Um, I think that if I was on the show, if I were on the show and I had like a big business and I had something that was valuable to me, I wouldn't even want to film with her. I wouldn't want to be around her
I would be
because
scared to film
if
with her.
yeah, I would, because not even scared, like you said, like I would just, like you said, my discernment would be up. I wouldn't trust it because if
Mhm,
I'm not obsessing over her like she's used to being obsessed over,
mhm.
I feel like there would be a narrative that would be created, like what they did with
Yep.
Stormy. I was confused when I was watching it live, how they even thought it was Stormy that recorded her in the first place, and they went in on her. You know what I mean? And
And
she
she
didn't
didn't
even
stop
defend the
it, and
person.
and she didn't stop it either.
Yeah, didn't even defend it. Now you on the internet, how you know? Okay, let's be real. How you know misbehaving and saying what she's saying on the internet unless you going through these streets watching videos? How
Mhm.
you dropping $500 in other people's lives unless you saw Stormy dropped $500 in AL's live? You know what I'm saying? She's in here actively all the time. It's like she's looking around, and to me, for her to see what they're doing up close and personal and not try to rectify the situation, I definitely
Mhm.
would not deal with her. I would be like, I'm not about to, I'm not taking the chance of being misinterpreted, and I'm not going to hold my tongue and let somebody disrespect me just because they want, you know what I'm saying? It's like a double-edged sword. It's a situation that you'll end up losing filming with her, you
Absolutely.
know?
And they dropping $500. Come on, guys, drop $500 in my cash app.
Stormy did it
Stormy,
twice in
Stormy,
ALs, yeah.
Martell, drop five hundred
Simply because
dollars.
he was telling the truth. He was just
Drops the
simply
five
telling the
hundred
truth.
dollars in my cash app because everything that I've been telling you guys, it all came to pass. I told you this stuff was gonna come crumbling down. Ain't nothing good was gonna come out of this. When
Can I?
everything I called on my show is coming to pass. So guys, cash out me $500, please. Go ahead, God above everything. I speaking it right now into the atmosphere.
I find it odd that they have as much content as they do when there's no filming.
Hmm.
And I also find it odd that they just took the, like, when they started attacking Stormy, I side-eyed that because I was like, yeah, I follow her and I see that she posted certain things, but how did you take it that far to think that she's talking about the person that you're
Hmm.
obsessed over? But then again, there is a dog whistle because then you go to her page, and when Stormy posts a chess piece, she's posting a chess piece.
Yeah,
So
she
people
jealous of
allude,
Stormy.
like, she very much. No, seriously, anybody with two eyes and common sense and discernment can see that she's very jealous of her, even though Melody got it going on. Melody got it
But
going on in
Melody
her
doing
own
it,
aspect.
but they say Melody got it going on. I don't see it.
I
Show me.
see it, but
Maybe
I
because
don't see why
want me
she's
to tell
so
you why I don't
mean to
see it.
people.
Want me to tell you why I don't see it. I don't see it because she chopping everybody else down in order for her to elevate herself. And not only that, Melody, to say she got it going on, she's renting someone else's house. How the hell? I want to know. You can rent somebody's house and drive a G wagon. Make it make sense. No way, that's backwards. That's like putting the horse the cart before the horse. You think I'm going to rent somebody else's home, and I know she paying mad money with that big old mansion. You paying money every month to something that will never be yours. That's money just going down a drain, but yet you driving around in a G-Wagon. Make it make sense. And you don't even have a warehouse. If I sit there, was doing business, I wouldn't be doing business in my house. I would go and get me a warehouse, rent me some kind, just like Stormy, some type of uh facility, and push my products out of that. So that's just to show you,
You
chicken
gotta
tongue will
have
say
enough money
anything.
to do that.
Not really. Not to go get you a building.
For her, yeah, she gotta have
No,
enough
Not
Stormy's
money.
got a
really.
big Stormy's got a big warehouse.
You
Like,
don't
that's
need a you
not
don't need I
something
had
that
a
we like.
huge big warehouse and put all my food in it, and she's in the country. I don't think it's gonna be that expensive. If you about that and you making that money, ain't nothing wrong with
That's
paying
what I was trying to
2,500.
tell you. She ain't really about
Thank
that
oh, okay,
crazy
yeah, well,
stuff.
let's say that
I think
because I
she
would
got
get a
money, but
warehouse.
she's not on the level of Stormy because Stormy's got
But
like
still of
a
all, she
lot
still
of
could get her
people.
warehouse.
No,
She could
she's
get a
nowhere near Stormy. Let's be
No, because
clear.
Stormy's paying people. Like, Stormy's got, like, she's got a, no, like, a legit warehouse with legit employees that's not working for free. Like, they're literally getting paid by her, got benefits and everything. Like, she's got a real deal
But
thing. And I'm not going to,
Storm is also not new to business. And so when you get in business, you lose a lot before you start making a lot.
Yeah, you got to iron out the kinks,
amen.
but still of all, she's doing good in her in her home. I
That's
started,
what I'm
I
saying.
started
She's
out,
not
I
doing
started
it
in my home as well too. I had my hair shop in the back and made a home health out of that. And once my home health started growing, I started getting me a business, and then I had my own food bank and got a warehouse. It doesn't cost, sometimes it gonna cost you in order for you to make money. So, why, if she about that life, why is she pushing products out of her basement?
I'm going to say this. Stormy didn't have a show, and she started off in her kitchen, and she went out from that to having a warehouse to being so big that
Mhm.
that's where everything came into play. Like, allegedly she had somebody that was mishandling her money, and she didn't know, she wasn't privy to it, but also she was growing so fast that like she had to play catch up. Like the amount, I know she's finally in the groove of things, but I still like looking at what she's went from canvas with her hairline to now with the body line. Like she's got a lot of orders. Like I'm not, she may not have as many Instagram followers as everybody else, but her money, she's got money. She's got people that's buying her products, and she's got high volume orders. Like one week she had like over 40,000 orders. Like
Wow.
she 40,000. You
So
can't,
they trying to cut her down. They trying to chop her down.
they
But
can't
devil,
cut
you
her
is a lie.
down. They
No
can't. There's
weapon
no way
formed
they can
against us
though.
shall prosper. No weapon. And what God has blessed, no man will come against it. You try to chop her down, you're gonna end up chopping yourself down.
And I'm
That's
proud of her. At first
jealousy.
I thought she was cocky, but I mean, think about
Who?
it. Stormy,
Stormy?
cause since I was a
Well,
millimeter, I
let me
really
tell you
was.
about
I was
Stormy. Let
deep
me tell
in
you about
it.
Stormy right quick. I didn't like Stormy when she emasculate Marcel when she called him a B. I didn't like her, but I'm a forgiving person. I also don't like bullies, and when they start attacking black businesses, because I get traumatized by that. When you come against black businesses, and
I don't
that's
like it
what
either.
made me favor, like I say, favor her because of what they was doing to Stormy. But I didn't like Stormy because I think she was way out of line, and I also think that Stormy should apologize for calling Marcel a B. That was below the belt. It
Yeah,
wasn't
I
even
agree
worth
with
it.
you.
So, guys, we got 3 more minutes. What y'all got to say, and we're gonna go ahead and close it down. I've been on for 3 hours.
Thank you for letting me be on here, and I appreciate that you let people have their opinions.
You
We
are
agree on certain
welcome.
things, and certain things we may
That's a
not
new thing.
like.
That's a good thing about it. Yes.
Yeah, but that's how it's supposed to be. And I feel
Absolutely.
like I will say this, like, and I respect that about you and some other content creators that are for just basically having an open mind and open opinion, is that y'all are really like kind enough to bring people on that are millimeters or that are a
Hmm.
little obsessed and hear their point of view. Whereas if you were to go on their platforms and try to do the same thing, it would not be successful at all. Like,
Are you
you don't even
serious?
see, no, if you think about it, go to their comments. They don't have any comments that's opposing to Melody in there. They don't have any people that truly get on their pages that have any opposing opinions that's not aligned with
So, are you saying they all got to agree with them? They
yes
all got to
ma'am.
be one sided? My
Essentially,
God,
yes.
that
If
should be
y'all would ever try
boring.
to
That's
go on there,
boring.
it's a worship session. It's like a
Yes.
worship
Yes.
session. I look back on it and I really ask God, like I ask God for forgiveness for that, because
Hmm.
that was idolatry. That was really, that was a point of, I was obsessed, and that was not of God at all. That was off.
Mm-mm.
That was really off.
Well, I'm gonna email you. I'm gonna email you. If I don't email you tonight, I'm gonna email you tomorrow here.
Yes, ma'am.
And what we're gonna do is maybe I'm gonna text you to let you know when is you available. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up a live, and me and you can go ahead and do some little Bible studies in the morning or something like that here,
Oh, I
and we
would
can go through some
appreciate
scripture.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So we'll do it. We'll do it in the morning. Yeah, not at 5. At 5, I do my lives at 5, but in the mornings, you and I gonna pick a day. I'm gonna text you, and we can go ahead and talk about it here.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I look forward to
Yes,
that.
yes. So, guys, look, I'm gonna close it down. I've been on for 3 whole hours. 3 whole hours. Yes, indeed. So, you got something to say? In my opinion,
Again, I appreciate you. I'm praying for you. I love on you.
thank you
And
very
thank
much.
you for being the open person that you are, for welcoming me with open arms.
Thank you very much. I try. Like I said there and say, going against the grain is not easy at all. But somebody got to do it, right?
Exactly. And you're the woman for the job.
Absolutely, honey. I've been through it. I could take a piece of every last one of them. So, okay, guys, look, I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. Thank you all
Well,
for
have a
coming
wonderful
on.
night.
You too, you too. Okay, okay. So, guys, this was another hit out of the park. This was a very great live. We have a right to our opinion, to agree to disagree, and that's the uniqueness about it. I don't know, how you guys think about my views, but I try to be unapologetic and non-biased. Thank you, Butterfly. Thank you, my girl, country girl. She says, "Thank you." Thanks everyone for joining the panel. Everyone enjoy the rest of your night. Safe. God bless you all. Pepper say, hey, hey, Pepper. Hey guys, Bertha, my girl, Bertha, my mind coming in. Our ADOC ladies chasing to catch up with Rihanna. Rihanna, she has a vision and is going for it. Wow, wow. Dark and Lovely says, right, Lady D, totally agree. I think it's the Fletcher's rental property. That's sad. You want to be about that, but yet, you putting, money down the toilet. That's how I look at it. Uh, if you about that life and you in that bracket, nowhere in the world you should be sitting there living in somebody else's home. Okay, make it make sense. I just don't understand it. So, guys, Davina, I see Davina was in the house. She say, "Peace and blessings, everyone." Simona Bunt, yes, indeed. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. T. Jones say, "Be blessed, lady." Thank you, T. Jones. And Butterfly. Butterfly was in the house too. Thank you, Butterfly. So, guys, look, I've been on 3 hours, and trust me, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I had surgery 4 days ago. I didn't want to say nothing. I wanted to, come on afterwards because you got these haters be praying against you. But like I say, I'm a deep Southern woman from the bayou. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Every tongue that rises against me shall be condemned. That's how I look at it. But all the stuff, guys, I don't care how you guys want to go ahead and run everything. I've been talking like this from day one. I always saw the outcome. I saw the train wreck. Like I said, I've been saying it for day one. You can build a house, you can furnish the house, but that does not mean that you're going to live in the house. When you sit there and you try to play with God's anointed people, revenge is just the Lord's. Okay, Bertha. So, guys, good night, and you all be blessed.